talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon with your sports headlines. I'm Will Hobbs, and just a handful of hours remain before it's back.
Everybody will tell you that this is a different league than all the others in terms of intensity.
Well, they all told him that last year, of course, and it didn't faze him one bit. Nearly £200 million later, he's back at Anfield this eve, live and exclusively on talkSPORT to face Bournemouth for the start of Liverpool's title defence. From the champions to the perennial silver medalists, Arsenal legends have been squabbling over whether or not Arteta needs to change his captain. Parler and Adams are both convinced the armband has to go to Declan Rice, but what does Seaman think?
Odegaard's the captain, so for me, there's no need to change. You know, if you start changing things like that, you start upsetting the squad. You know, Odegaard won't be happy for starters, but Declan's always going to be a captain on the pitch anyway.
Omari Hutchinson is undergoing a medical at Nottingham Forest today. The Tricky Trees have agreed a £37.5 million fee with Ipswich. And it's going to be another sizzling Saturday Saudi blockbuster tomorrow night when everyone's favourite up-and-comer Moses Itauma takes on the body snatcher Dillian White, live on talkSPORT, of course. What about Jake Paul versus AJ? Eddie Hearn says he can't quite believe it, but that's the next most likely fight for his man, and he's fired this warning.
This is a bit like, you know when you used to tune in to watch David Blaine and see if he could get out of the box or not? Yeah, and it's like, is he going to be all right? I don't know. This is like that. But I said to Jake Paul, you ain't in a box, mate, and this ain't David Blaine. I said, so just be careful, because AJ will take your head clean off your shoulders.
There's more on talkSPORT.com.
talkSPORT News.
The King and Queen have led a 2-minute silence to mark 80 years since the Second World War ended, and Donald Trump will leave for Alaska soon for showdown talks with Vladimir Putin. Emma has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Buy 2 or more Bridgestone Turanza all-season 6 tyres and claim Bridgestone's massive 20,000 mileage guarantee. Visit quickfit.com and book today. Conditions apply.
Light rain in Scotland and the odd shower, cloudier in northern parts. Bright and sunny across most of England and Wales, and very warm.
Eddie Hearn saying that David Blaine is going to take my head clean off my shoulders. Disappointing start to the afternoon. Good afternoon. Sad news for Max Rushden fans, as it's his final time in the H&J chair, sitting in for Paul for the time being. Andy Jacobs is here as always. What's coming up between now and 4?
I'm so sad. I don't know if I can go on, but I'll give it my best shot.
Well done.
Former Premier League men Dan Gosling and Shaka Hislop will come on to look ahead to the start of the season. And finally, someone will come on and look ahead to the Toma Dillian White fight.
Finally. Alex Brooker's learning how to run on blades for charity. We'll ask him how tricky that is. The Fools panel returns, and VAR expert Dale Johnson will explain all the new refereeing directives and just who the PGMOL have an agenda against this season.
Oh, I love the new directives. They last for at least 10 minutes. And we'll have a Commentator's Clip special.
Yeah, all that between now and 4. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Andy.
Good afternoon. I have a problem with these headphones.
Oh, dear. You'll be okay.
Well,
don't apologise to me. Can you hear me?
Well, not really, but I'll keep going.
Do you want me to sit? Do you want me to shout? Andy, it's 1 o'clock. The next meal is lunch.
Good.
Bingo's at 3. You'll be okay.
I very much enjoyed Danny Murphy's interview with Arnie Slot. I wish it had been a bit more of a Liverpool feel to it. Tremendous, wasn't it?
I haven't heard every second of it.
Well, it's very good.
Did he do a quick fire bit at the end? They always go quick fire. Just like Danny Murphy to, go, come on then, Arna, wigwams or chocolate? What do you prefer? Digestives or Gemma Collins? What's going on, Arna? Did he do that? I think Danny would love that sort of...
Didn't do that. It would have
I remember doing the mid-morning show with Danny Murphy and doing the rehearsal for the Champions League draw with Kinder Eggs. And
were they sponsoring it?
They weren't, but I'd done it before with Perry Groves, and it was a great success. I didn't really have the same buy-in from Danny for what do we do? We're doing the rehearsal for the Champions League draw. Why? We're just doing it with Kinder Eggs.
Well, it's fun to see how your draw goes and how their draw goes.
Danny didn't buy into it, but that's fair enough. As I've told before, the best phone-in I've ever done was with Danny Murphy, which is, have you ever been near Danny Murphy but not asked for a photo because he looked so miserable? And the phone lines were absolutely wild.
He agreed to that.
He agreed to it, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed the other night, the referee on the back of his shirt, I don't know if you talked about this yesterday.
Oh, we didn't.
But it said, be a referee.
Yeah.
So it was on the back of his shirt. I was thinking it's got a word missing. Food.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's bold, though. It's a good idea to get people interested in it. Yes, I think you'd have been impressed by Spurs the other night.
I was really impressed. Recency bias is always dangerous, and I like to avoid sensationalism and also ignore what happened at the end. But I don't think I've seen Richarlison play that well for Tottenham. Bentancur, Sarr. I thought Spence was brilliant.
Yeah, Sarr was good. I thought Kudus looked very impressive.
Yeah, agree.
The only thing is, I thought the Spurs fans did get a little bit carried away afterwards because this wasn't the PSG that won the European, the Champions League. This wasn't the PSG that thrashed Madrid before they played Chelsea, and it wasn't even the PSG that played Chelsea. To be really,
you can only beat who's in front of you.
No,
in this case, you can only
very, very rusty, and their touch was off. And but Spurs did well. You can see though that why they want Eze. The way that they're set, they remind me of Brentford, not unsurprisingly. And the whole thing about Brentford is they had the weapons. They had Visser and they had Mbeumo. But you don't think Spurs have that. So if they go a goal down in a game, it's going to be more difficult.
Yeah, I think it'll be actually interesting tomorrow to see if because they played a back three, didn't they? And I wonder if against Burnley they'll play a back four. And so you would have Brennan Johnson or someone else. You'd have three attackers there. But I did wonder what was Ange thinking as Kevin Danso arched his back to hurl.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Ange, I mean, not for me, mate.
No. But that's what you get with Thomas Frank, and he's pragmatic. He will change it from game to game, and Spurs will be so much harder to beat this season than they were last season. But they need Eze, and they probably need another, I think, 'cause, without Maddison, without Kulusevski. But encouraging for them, no question about it. I was saying to you earlier, and we've done this on the show before, but it's when an ad comes up on Instagram or something, you think, oh, that looks good, doesn't it? That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And my wife does suffer in the heat. She doesn't like the heat so much. So at the start of the summer, this ad came up and it was like a handheld air conditioner.
Right. So it's sort of on Instagram, you're scrolling down Instagram or something.
And it says,
this shop now.
And on the film, it was like this vape, this sort of like smoke, ice coming out of this thing. I thought, well, that'll be good to sue that. So first of all, it went to my old house.
Good stuff.
So it's only just arrived yesterday. And it's absolutely useless. It's just a fan. I've done it again. I've fallen for one of these Instagram ads. It's so
like a kitten blowing at you. I bought a tube of paste to sort of regrout my shower. Now, it's not in my skill set anyway. But there is a reason why you can't regrout your shower for $10.99.
Yes.
and I know it. But what's the text topic? Have you ever bought anything off the internet that's absolutely terrible?
Yeah, basically.
Name and shame the companies, and we'll get Matt Allwright to go after them after the show. 8:1089 at Max Rushden.
And yeah, very much so. And I'm very much a fan of the letters of Ian Owen of Wallington in Surrey.
Good afternoon, Ian.
He writes to the Sun every time, and Ian's speciality is to tell you absolutely nothing. He doesn't. All he does is he takes a bit out of the report, the news report, turns it into a letter, and they publish it. So here's his latest effort yesterday.
Good luck.
Jack Grealish has officially joined Everton on loan from Manchester City. Yeah, we know. And will wear the number 18 shirt. We know. Like his favourite players, Wayne Rooney and Paul Gascoigne. You think, yes, we know all of that, Ian. What's the point, mate?
Do you think Ian's real?
I don't think he is.
Do you think Ian's real?
I don't know. He could be. But
Rob Charles wrote to the Star today to say, why don't they make more baby clothes in shades that match colours of baby poo and baby sick? And I actually don't disagree with Rob. It's an excellent idea. I'd put it on the internet. these shorts about 4 hours ago were covered in vomit, but I didn't have time to change. But the wet wipe is a wonderful thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Do your kids, have your oldest got into Baby Shark yet? Does he like Baby Shark?
He's not into Baby Shark yet. He's into Just in Time on YouTube.
Oh, right. But Baby Shark, there was a whole legal case over it. It's been viewed 16 billion times.
Oh, what's the legal? It's not actually a shark? Is that the problem?
Well, there's a dispute over who wrote it and was it taken from another thing and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it got thrown out. But it is the tune, that and Let It Go, I think that parents hate the most. My grandchildren, when they liked Baby Shark, I mean, it's irritating.
Oh, yeah, terrible.
Incredibly irritating.
Terrible. Should we come out of every break with Baby Shark? Right? Just to see.
It's great. Because you can't do it. Once you do it, you can't get it out of your head.
Singing. But you could go on Stars in Their Eyes. What are you going to be, Andy? Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Baby Shark. Tonight, Andy Jacobs, bam, 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 through the smoke, come out dressed as a shark. I think listeners would love to see you performing. That would do, because let's face it, H&J, we're not quite sensationalist enough to get on the talkSPORT clips. We sort of, I think the account may be run by Rory Jennings, but like if you did sing Baby Shark, that would do good numbers.
Yeah,
and if you get good numbers, we'll get a new contract.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's a very good idea. But there's a letter in the Sun today that only you can answer.
Okay,
it's
great.
From W. Hunter of Lancs.
Hello, W.
Is it just me, or does anyone else think the woke brigade has too much time on their hands? Have you got too much time on your hands?
No. As somebody who is as woke as it gets, and on the left side of everything, and you can, people tweeting in the last few days, finding the boss's Twitter handle to say, how is Max allowed to put his opinions on the radio?
I agree with them.
Honestly,
I do.
I am very time. So I do it on my own show. I am very time poor. So as I may say, I am both woke but very time poor.
Oh, wow.
Probably lucky, isn't it? Because
otherwise you'd have too much time on your hands.
Too much time. I'd be writing letters to the Sun.
It's tremendous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good.
Good. Is it? We done?
No, not necessarily.
I've got some sad news, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
The world's oldest lemur has died.
Yes, I saw that.
How old? Birthday spread for lemurs.
Yeah. I think he's 37, wasn't he? Or 39?
39. Correct.
39. Yeah, I mean...
Stumpy. It's called Stumpy.
Was he?
He was the patriarch of a large family. He had 11 kids. No wonder he died young.
Well, he didn't die young. He lived a long time. 39 doesn't seem that old.
It's no age at all
for
a lemur.
Galapagos tortoise.
Yes, but he's not a Galapagos tortoise. He's a lemur.
He'd be at least 200 years old.
I met the Galapagos tortoise.
Did you?
Well, I was in the Galapagos. He doesn't like to travel. He's a little Galapagoser. That's what he is.
Who's he support?
He's a big Brentford fan.
Of course,
and he's worried about Keith Andrews. He says, we don't know. It's, maybe the system's so well. That's what he said. It was a while ago, but he said, I'm worried about Keith Andrews when Thomas Frank moves on.
I know.
But maybe he'll be a great success.
We hope so.
Stumpy became the patriarch of a large family, 11 offspring, 25 grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren, and even a great-great-granddaughter, leaving a legacy that spans 5 generations. The ring-tailed lemur was born where? Where do you think?
Ring-tailed lemur. South America?
Yes, Surrey. In 1986. There we are. Before he arrived in 2005 at Five Sisters Zoo in West Calder, Scotland, where he died. There we go. He was a true ambassador for his species, says a spokesperson, and for the zoo. He will be remembered not only for his remarkable longevity, but for the joy he brought.
It's like an obituary there, like a tribute.
And
I've just seen myself on the monitor there.
How do you think you're looking? You're looking good.
Well, not really.
Oh,
unfortunately, the makeup person wasn't around.
No, they weren't.
I'm being blinded by my own reflection. Really? A little bit shiny there, isn't it?
You do have a shiny pate.
I do have a shiny pate.
That's true, isn't it? Shiny pate. What a bowler he was, wasn't he? West Indies quick in the 70s. Shiny pate, 7 for 36 of 12. Anyway, it is Max Rushden and Andy Jacobs with you until 4. What are we doing next? Dan Gosling, former Bournemouth and Everton midfielder, will join us at Liverpool Bournemouth tonight, of course, live on talkSPORT.
Liverpool Football Club, for the 20th time, joining Manchester United at the top of the tree, are English champions.
It's back to Salah. He puts it into an empty net and Liverpool lead.
You know, it's the Premier League. And if you rest on your laurels, that bites you in the following season.
If you wear this shirt, if you go out at Anfield, there's only one thing that is expected of you, and that's winning the game.
I would say that Liverpool at the moment is the most enticing and exciting sporting project in world football.
If you're talking about Hugo Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, Kirkez, I mean, we are looking at a super team.
Ouattara has fed Kluivert inside the penalty area, and Kluivert has nabbed it under the goalkeeper and in.
Finish 9, 56 points. I think is the least this group of players deserved after the season they've played. Overall, big season for us.
With Andoni as a manager, you know, it's only going to go from strength to strength.
My only worry about them going forward now, people just kind of gut-wrench your team.
Bournemouth have beaten Manchester City.
Where on earth do Bournemouth go from here?
Top to bottom, one of the most unpredictable leagues around. talkSPORT is the place to be for the return of the Premier League.
Yeah, Premier League back tonight, Liverpool versus Bournemouth. 8 o'clock kickoff live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola has been speaking to the media ahead of the game. He was asked if this has been the toughest summer of his managerial career with so many players leaving the club.
I come from Rayo 3 years. The squad basically was the same through some 1 or 2 signings, but normally was the same, even second division. Maybe when we promoted, a little bit of new signings, but not but it's situations that are normal. You know, if it's not this summer looks like worse because they are players that have been like very important and they go to very big places for a lot of money. But this situation normally happen in the pre-seasons, and you have to adapt and try to cope as good as we can.
Andoni Iraola there. Let's talk to the former Bournemouth and Everton midfielder Dan Gosling. Hey Dan, you okay?
Hiya, all good.
Yeah, nice to see that. Lead coach at Watford in your Watford kit at the moment for the 18s, aren't you? What have you made? What does Marcus Tavernier think when he looks around and his entire defence and goalkeeper have gone?
4 out of the back 5. It's mad.
Yeah, not just him, but I mean everyone, I guess. Look, I think Bournemouth are going to be in a transition period, especially at the start of the season. No one probably expected them to lose 4 of their back 5, really, include Kepa in that. But they've signed 3 to replace them. They probably need 1 more. But yeah, it's going to be interesting how they settle in, and that's always the case. If you're not Premier League proven already, it's how you're going to come in and settle into this environment.
It must be frustrating for the fans because after a difficult start for Iraola, he turned it round, didn't he? And they were brilliant. And this next season was even better, really. So, you know, to lose all these players, he must be thinking to himself, yeah, thanks. It's not great, is it, for the manager?
No, it's not ideal. I think when he come in, I don't think they won in 9-10 games. And then it's sort of all his messages started to click. I think that obviously the biggest surprise was obviously Dean Huijsen, who no one thought that he was going to come in and probably play. He didn't play at the start of the season. I think probably took 2-3 months for him to get in. But there was an injury to Senesi, I believe, and then he got in and everyone started looking at the quality of what he had, and then he ended up staying and look where he's gone. He's gone to Real Madrid. And again, Zabani, he was a quality player when he come in. They paid a lot of money for him, but more than doubled their money. And again, Kirkez, how can you stop these guys going? They all performed really well. They all behaved really well towards the end when they knew they was going. So they go with it with everyone's blessing. It's unfortunate that Bournemouth have to sell to sort of balance the books. And it's not just Bournemouth. Most teams have to do that these days with the new rules. But yeah, people come and prey on these teams when they can.
Yeah,
the quality of the teams they've gone to shows how good these players were, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. And like the pecking order of football, we all understand it. I sort of think if you're a Bournemouth fan, you might know better than me, Dan. As a Cambridge fan, when we sold Dion to Man United for $1 million, I felt so much pride. Like, would you feel pride as a Bournemouth fan to see your players have gone to Real Madrid, PSG and Liverpool, or would you just be annoyed?
I think so. I think the overriding feeling will be that, but ultimately, if those 3 are still in the team and you add 2-3, it's like, oh, where can we get to? Yeah. We could be competing in that top 7, say, going for Europe. Whereas now they probably have a feeling where, right, we've got to start again, build again, and hopefully these players that come in can sort of try and match what the 3 that have gone, and then maybe add to that. But again, when players at Bournemouth, they come, they do really well, and then yes, if there's a profit to be made, the club have to sell them.
I suppose if you are a Bournemouth fan, I mean, there was that moment in the season last year where they had so many injuries.
That was
for
a
some
brilliant
reason
run they went on.
They put them all in that perspex box, like a David Blaine. But at some point, you could just see all these injured Bournemouth players, just in a box. But like they performed really well, even when they were missing a lot of their players.
Yeah, I think the biggest result was Newcastle away. I think they went there and they had, eight academy players on the bench, which was amazing for the academy, amazing for the coaches. Obviously, that's where I am now, so it's great. But yeah, you don't want your first team players being injured. But that result, they blew Newcastle away 4-1. I mean, I was looking at it. I remember watching the game and the energy that Bournemouth players had after playing sort of the last 5-6 games as well. Very similar team. Was incredible, and that's testament to the manager, the fitness guys, the players themselves, how professional and how fit they are to keep going. So yeah, small group, but they've done really, really well.
Quick question on Everton, your former club. I mean, it seems weird. It doesn't feel right for there to be enthusiasm before a season starts for Everton. But, a new stadium, Grealish coming in, David Moyes did so well at the end of last season. So there are reasons to be positive.
100%. I think they were a little bit worried, obviously, going into the new stadium, and you don't want to be going into that new stadium sort of fighting relegation. The last 2-3 years has been really difficult for the club. Obviously, financial issues and then relegation. But on each occasion, they've done really well, and the support from the fans has been incredible to get them over the line. But going into the new stadium, obviously, the statement signing Jack Grealish. They've also signed Dewsbury Hall, who again is a fantastic player. Will bring such energy to that midfield. They're still looking at Tyler Dibbling. I mean, yes, it's expensive, but really young, really quality player, technical. He'll get the fans off their seats. So if they can manage to add him or one or two more, then yes, exciting times. And with that new stadium, I've heard it's amazing. I've not been there, but I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah, I was impressed with Dewsbury Hall for Chelsea last year. Whenever he played, he came on and did a decent job. He's a good player, actually, and obviously wasn't really getting a full chance at Chelsea. So this will be good for him too, I think. Yeah,
Kieran's a quality player. I mean, he got his great move to Chelsea, obviously on the back of not just one, but 2-3 fantastic seasons for Leicester City. I know West Ham was in for him. He obviously chose Everton in the end, and he's definitely an Everton type of midfielder, type of player. He'll work hard. He'll lift the fans with tackles, energy, getting box to box, and he'll be one of the first things on the team sheet, I'm sure.
This is not entirely linked, Dan, but when you scored that goal for Everton in the Merseyside derby that ITV missed, right? Obviously you will remember the goal. But I just wonder, because it was such a big moment for you, will your parents have it on Sky Plus and go, oh no, it was my doing it? Do they try and record it? Did you ever I can't remember if the footage was somewhere. I can't remember.
No, to be fair, I don't think it cut off throughout the whole country, but most of the country. And unfortunately, cut off in Devon where my mum was watching the game. So yeah, no, it wasn't on record. It's on YouTube. I don't know how many views it's got.
Okay.
What the goal is there on the bit where they missed it? Oh, I know. I think it went to a tick.
Come on, back when there's a pylon.
Yeah.
And one by one was coming off, and eventually I was on the bottom of it. And obviously my mum realised that I scored the winning goal. So yeah, fantastic night. Fantastic memory, and I still get fans to this day sort of thanking me. Really, it's a bit strange. Thank you as well. I'm just trying to do my job.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Quite a nice way for your mum to find out. Going, is it Dan? No, because someone else has peeled off. There's another player. Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
Instead, she got an advert for Tic Tacs, didn't she? And how's everything going at Watford? Your lead coach for the 18s. How's it all going?
Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, been in the role probably 3 weeks now, and it's been really good. The first league game last week, we won 5-2, so it's a great start. And I've just been preparing the team for today for Coventry away tomorrow. So it's been great. The lads have been really good, and it's a great step up, a great learning curve for me as well.
Oh, well, good luck with that. And thanks for coming on, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys.
Dan Gosling there, former Bournemouth and Everton midfielder. I didn't say it to Dan. 3 weeks, actually quite a long time for a Watford coach, isn't it?
It is.
He's done well before Quique Sanchez-Flores comes in.
It is a funny period, this period, though, before the window closes. If you haven't done your business, you end up maybe losing 3 or 4 games that you shouldn't do. And, that takes a bit of recovering from. Yeah. But they all do it. Not they all, but a lot
the
of
window should just shut before the season starts. It just seems so obvious, doesn't it?
Well, then it would have to shut everywhere at the same time. We had that one season where they tried it. I remember when they were thinking of bringing it in. I think it was the Stoke chairman we had on, Paul and I. And we were saying to him, this is madness because everybody else will be open and we'll be open. Oh, no, it won't work like that. We went, no, it will. We'll have closed ours and everybody else's will be open. He wouldn't have it. But, of course, that's exactly what happened.
I agree. But they should all, in many ways, why doesn't the world come together to agree on these things?
Right, that's very true.
Yeah, there's Max and Charlie. Max, no, it's not. You're not Charlie. Hair is the same. This is Rushden and Jacobs on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation this summer. Shop Toolstation, award-winning Hawksmoor Hawksby lawnmowers in-store, on app and online. Next stop, Toolstation.
Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Some are pretty straightforward. Arsenal are the Gunners because they were founded by a group of munitions workers, and Bournemouth are the Cherries because their old stadium was built right next to a cherry orchard. Then there's Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ipswich Town nicked their nickname off their opponents in the late 90s, Birmingham. The term Tractor Boys was chanted as a way to tease the team about their farming background, but they started using it themselves as a way to cheer on the team in victory instead. Take that, Birmingham. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Crystal Palace's nickname came from an extreme makeover. They were having a nightmare run in the 70s, and when they were relegated, their manager, Malcolm Allison, wasn't having it. I know what will make us better, he thought, a new nickname. The Strong and Deadly Eagle sounded like a pretty good bet. And there's more to that story. Brighton used Palace's nickname to inspire their own. Ooh, a bird, they thought. Let's just pick a different one for us. And so, in a heated match between the two teams back in 1976, when Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles," Brighton fans had the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Yeah, Aston Villa Newcastle then will be our first game day kickoff commentary on talkSPORT after the excellent game day live warm-up. After the excellent warm-up with Max Rushden and Charlie Baker. From Villa Park, let's talk to a man who played in golf for Newcastle and West Ham as well, amongst others, Shaka Hislop. Hey, Shaka, you okay?
I'm doing really well. How are you all doing?
Yeah, very good. Lovely to talk to you. Actually, let me play you a bit of Eddie Howe, who's been speaking to the media ahead of the PSR derby with Aston Villa. And he was asked about Alexander Isak.
No, there's been no change to the situation. All my focus has been on the training, on Aston Villa, on the transfer front in terms of trying to get players in. And you can imagine that is all-consuming for me. So Alex's situation's been unchanged for a while, and that will continue to be the case, I think. Yeah, I've had a great relationship with Alex. I think you need to have that partnership with every player. There's so many different emotions that players go through, and I always want to be there for them in every way. And me and Alex have enjoyed a great relationship. I don't think he'd have done as well as he's done without that, and without his teammates, and without the supporters and the backing of the whole football club. So he recognises that as well. He's a highly intelligent person. And he knows he wouldn't have had the success here without everybody connected with Newcastle.
I feel like he recognises it too much, does he?
That's why he wants to leave. Tremendous.
Hey, Shaka, you're a nice man. I can't imagine you going on strike, Shaka, but do correct me if you ever did.
No, I've never went on strike. No need to. Everybody's happy to see me leave.
What do you make of the situation?
I feel it's deteriorated to a point now where I'm not sure that there's any return for Alexander Isak, or that the fans will ever accept him back. And I know, listen, I understand fans in football, memory is short, and the old cliche, starts first 5 games and scores 5 goals, everything's forgotten about. I think the way this has played out, and for how long it's been playing out, I'm not sure even that brings him back in the good graces of the Geordie faithful. I just feel that while I understand a player wanting to leave a club to join another for whatever reasons, while I understand that at times you feel forced, you feel like as though you have to force that move through, for it to go on for as long as it has with Alexander Isak, and kind of given his standing at that club before, I'm not sure that there's any way back for him.
It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, the problem is if you hold out for a big fee like they are from Liverpool, it stops you replacing them. They could bring in Visser, they could bring in Jackson if that's what they wanted to do, could bring them both in for that money. But if they sort of hang on with the hope for a big fee, or that he won't go, that could leave them in a right difficulties if it turns him off. He can't be bothered anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be honest, Newcastle paid 70 million for Alexander Isak, so they certainly want to return. They'll get that. I mean, Liverpool's first bid was substantially more than that. But kind of given his performances, and let's be honest, there aren't many number 9s out there available who you know will come in and make a difference. And Alexander Isak, given his record in the Premier League, comes in and hits the ground absolutely running. I don't feel that there's any doubt to it. So you understand Newcastle kind of setting their stall out, and then with Alexander Isak digging his heels in terms of forcing a move through, you understand Newcastle doing exactly the same in digging their heels in and insisting on the 150 million or whatever it is they're demanding. Now, again, for me, if Isak had kind of gone about this differently, I think Newcastle could have, lowered their price or come to some kind of an understanding or whatever it is. But the fact that he's playing hardball means that Newcastle as a football club have to play hardball, because at the very least, no player is bigger than the club. And Newcastle have to show that.
Yeah, I mean,
they do.
It is such a difference between, Elanga, Gordon and Isak, and Elanga, Gordon, and nothing there. But we do get obsessed with transfers. There's been they have
but 150 million is made. You've got to look at what the market is. You look at Sesko, you look at those. He's a slightly better player than that, but he isn't double the player that.
No, I understand.
I think that's a mad price.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I suppose the point I wanted to make, Shaka, is that we get so obsessed in the summer with transfers because there's nothing interesting to talk about, that actually you forget that there's a good squad. There's a really good squad with a really good manager there.
Yeah, I absolutely. 2 seasons ago, I think Newcastle finished disappointingly in the league by their own admission. And I know there were a lot of factors to that. First time back in the Champions League for I can't remember how long. And you questioned whether Newcastle could rediscover that form of the previous season. And they did. They did exactly that last season, winning a cup last season. And you felt that the club was absolutely on an upward trajectory. And now, while there hasn't been an incredible amount of movement, yes, they have had some additions, but there hasn't been an incredible amount of movement this summer. You felt that this squad was getting better and better, and Alexander Isak was kind of central to that. When he was injured a couple of seasons ago, you saw how badly their form dropped off. Once he was back in the squad, you see exactly what he means to them, and so now it just kind of feels as though, and not only the Alexander Isak situation, but kind of how they've missed out on others of their targets. Sesko comes to mind first and foremost. You just wonder how that affects the club, how that affects the dressing room, how that affects the start of their season, which I think is vitally important, kind of given how this summer has played out.
Yeah, Max called it the PSR derby, and Villa also have the same problems. They've had to sell a player to Newcastle to sort of help with this. You just wonder if these rules, when you've got these rich owners like Newcastle have got, it does seem bad that they can't spend the money that they want to spend. Otherwise, you're never going to end the status quo, are you?
Absolutely, and I'll be honest, I don't understand PSR, their regulations, how Aston Villa have found themselves in the trouble that they have, how Newcastle have found themselves in the trouble that they have, while you see other clubs, I'm thinking Manchester City, spending in the way that they have done. And now Liverpool have spent extortionately this summer. Liverpool, to their credit, have always managed their business wonderfully well. But when you see clubs like Newcastle, clubs like Villa in constant PSR jeopardy, but then clubs spending 200 and 300 million in one transfer window, it doesn't make sense to the layman. And granted, there's a lot that's going on that we aren't privy to, but just looking in from the outside, it doesn't make an awful lot of sense. So to your point, Max, you just wondered, is it really the way that football should be going or should be positioned right now? Because while you have these clubs who have lofty ambitions, it just feels like the rules are slightly different. And then if you start to look elsewhere in Europe, it gets even more complicated. The PSGs, etc. How that works is beyond me. While you have these English clubs trying to compete against them. And again, there's a lot I'm not privy to, but it just feels like an uneven playing field.
Quick one on West Ham. I'm slightly nervous. I think I've predicted them to get relegated. I did predict Forest last year, so don't worry. I mean, it means they're definitely safe, but it's a slightly nervous feel around there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I think Graham Potter coming in, having a pre-season is a huge boost for them. They started last season desperately poor. That meant a change in manager, but also you lose Kudus, you lose Mikel Antonio through both his accident and the expiration of his contract. And I'm not sure that West Ham have necessarily replaced them. And those were two players who were absolutely key to who they were. Paqueta and Bowen have stayed on. I think those two are easily the club's most important players. But that's a lot to ask of those two, kind of given the players who are no longer available or have left. I share your sentiment, and I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm hoping that I continue to believe that Graham Potter is an excellent manager, and now with a preseason on his belt, maybe he gets the best out of this squad that many have not been able to.
Hey, Shaka, always good to talk to you. Thanks so much for coming on.
I look forward to speaking to you all again.
Yeah, enjoy the season. Shaka Hislop there, former Newcastle and West Ham goalkeeper. Yeah, I've got them bottom.
Well, it's difficult. You just don't know with Graham Potter. I mean, when he came in, he had worse results than the bloke before, and that wasn't great.
Yeah.
But He's had the pre-season. Now, it's probably his last chance saloon, really.
Oh, he's in that saloon.
Well, he can't afford to fail, really, I don't think.
But if he does fail, he'll get a massive payoff, so he can afford to
fail. I mean,
That's the dream,
money he got out of Chelsea.
I keep delivering terrible performances in the hope I get a £10 million payoff, and yet no one's offering it.
No,
8:89.
very
I'll
sad.
take 10 million. We'll do some boxing next. Adam Smith, legendary boxing commentator, will join us.
A lot of people are basically just saying like, yeah, I'm going to knock him out.
Moses Itauma can take him out right now.
And like, I probably would.
Everyone tells me that he is the future. This kid is going to be the next face of British boxing.
I've said this from the beginning, from when he was 18, 19. He's it. He is it.
Moses Itauma!
I keep proving people wrong, and it's kind of weird. I'm going to have to prove them right this time.
There's no way the fight should continue. Moses Itauma.
Ready to dust up and have it.
This fight here, make or break.
Let's go! I'm ready!
Yeah, tomorrow night, DAZN brings you 5 huge fights in one night. Unbeaten rising star Moses Itauma taking on Dillian Whyte in a heavyweight showdown. Dillian has been speaking to talkSPORT ahead of the fight. Spoke about his intense face-off.
Yo, relax, bro. Before. It's less than 40 hours. We're going to put hands on each other. Just relax, relax. They're coming. Don't worry.
Is that what you said when you faced off close together?
That's the thing, bro. Relax. Like, you're not a bad man. The bad man thing is not for you. I'm not trying to go down that lane, but if you want to, then cool. I'm trying to be cool and respectful. But he's like, yeah, you know, I want to see if you're a wolf or a sheep. I say, bro, take it easy, bro. You don't want me to while I'll f all of his team up. I don't care. You know, if you up, then everyone's at risk. Not only him. I'll beat them all up. I don't give a f.
This is the Dillian Whyte I wanted to hear. This is the Dillian Whyte.
I'm chill until people start me. That's all. But I'm so chill. That's how I said, yo, calm down, bro. Take it easy, bro. Relax.
Like, oh, relax. Yeah. And if you don't, I'll beat the living out of you. That's what I said to the Jacobs team at the start of this week when I came in.
Gareth saying, well, that's what I want to hear from him while I was swearing. Tremendous.
Talk to legendary commentator and boxing host expert Adam Smith. Adam, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. I'm in the middle of quite a crazy sort of pre-fight event here at the Box Raw Sparring Club. So it's a chance for fighters to impress a whole bunch of people. There's some big celebrity names here. Just down beside me, Derek Chisora and Lawrence Okoli, very much part of this huge heavyweight mix. Amir Khan is over there, Harlem Eubank, Eddie Hearn, of course, Frank Warren. Lots of people looking for the next contender, the next name. But yeah, all eyes really though on tomorrow night for Moses Itauma and Dillian Whyte and a whole host of others as well. Another good card coming to you from Riyadh, and it's very hot here.
There's a lot of hype about Itauma, isn't there? I mean, is there any danger that he won't live up to this tomorrow night?
I think he's very good, but how often have we been wrong before? Obviously, we get excited when there's lots of boxes that are ticked, and with Moses at 20, there have been many already. He hits very hard. He's a southpaw, which is pretty unusual for a heavyweight. Obviously, Alexander Usyk is one, but there aren't many. He's got beautiful feet. He's got great timing. He's got a boxing brain. He's mature. He didn't lose a fight as an amateur. He's got a great team around him. So there's a great deal to like about Moses Itauma. And it's also what the people like Lawrence Okoli, who sparred with Moses when he was about 15, and Derek and AJ and Tyson Fury are saying, they all believe that he is the heir apparent. But he's got to get through the tests. And Saturday night brings Dillian Whyte. Dillian, I've known for many, many years. He's a very hardened operator. He is 37 now. He has been inactive a lot of late, but he possesses a big left hook, a huge amount of experience. Yeah, he's beaten the likes of Derek Chisora a couple of times, of Joseph Parker. Yes, he's probably past his peak now, but it's a good test for Moses Itauma at this time. And if he blows away Dillian Whyte, it's a big statement here in Riyadh.
Whenever there's a heavyweight fight, experts will say, well, if it goes past round 5, this person will definitely win. So if it goes past round 5, which of these two definitely wins?
That's a really good question. It's not one I can answer. You look back at Fabio Wardley in Ipswich the other week. He was losing every single round, every minute of every round against Justice Hooney, but one big right hand late on, and it was good night to Hooney, and Wardley gets the win. So you never know in heavyweight boxing. I think the likelihood, what people are surmising here, is that Itauma is going to shine, that he'll be too quick, his feet are too good, and he's got a devastating power. Throws a good uppercut as well, and Whyte's a little bit susceptible to that. But Moses hasn't been beyond 6 rounds, and Dillian has many times. So the feeling is if Moses Atama is dragged into the deeper rounds, it could get really tough for him. So is it White late, Atama early, one of those? Or will one big left hook from Dillian White early on just shake Atama like he's never been hit before? The signs in sparring, behind the scenes, and everything we've seen in the 12 fights so far of Moses Atama is that he is a real shining star in the making, and that he could take over after Alexander Usyk's reign. But there are questions, there are tests ahead, and Dillian White is one of those starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's good. Time on his side, though. He's only 20, so even if he was to lose, that wouldn't be the end of the world. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
Whetted my appetite, Adam. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, pal.
Cheers.
Adam Smith there. Lots of boxing happening behind him. Every single boxer in the world sort of standing behind him, aren't they? Yeah, live on talkSPORT, by the way. Of course, all the watch-along and all that kind of stuff. talkSPORT boxing.
Oh, the watch-along's great. Yeah. It's really a good thing to do when you...
Is it better than watching the fight? Is it like Soccer Saturday?
No, because you do both. What I do, I watch the fight, and then I have the watch-along on my phone, and when it goes to the inter-round...
Yeah.
I switched to our lot talking about it. So it's really good.
David Guildford's been in touch. It's a fantastic text on terrible things he bought from the internet.
Oh, yeah. What's he got?
A very long time ago, I came home after being on quite a large one and sat down to watch late night TV. I found myself eating a kebab watching the Shopping Channel. They were advertising a king-sized double bed that was both inflatable and had a built-in motor to blow itself up.
Oh, really?
Impressive in itself. But then they said, I know what you're thinking. What happens if it bursts? Cue a full-sized tiger on my TV, jumping on top of it and sitting happily on a fully inflated bed. The tiger was the final straw. I lifted the phone. I completely forgot all about it until 3 weeks later when my boss started screaming in my ear. I worked on a trading desk, so not unusual, asking what was going on. Turns out the bed was delivered to my work address, and whilst at lunch, my colleagues had decided to open it and inflate it inside my boss's office, so it was wedged against both glass walls and he couldn't get in.
And it came with the tiger.
It did, yeah. After both the bed and my boss were diffused, I showed him a clip of the tiger pouncing on it, and he bought one too.
Oh, really? Actually, I'm quite tempted now. Where do you get them? Send us the link.
Free tiger. Buy two, get a free tiger.
Good for here. They've got enough room in the new studio for Alan. He likes a bit of a sort of nap in between.
Oh, do you know what? Once I came in, and I was doing breakfast, and it was on a Monday, and Danny Murphy would occasionally do Match of the Day 2. And then he'd drive down here, and in the tiny little studio in the old building, we were like, where's Danny Murphy? And then someone opened this cupboard and he was just lying in a sleeping bag in there. And one time, Barry and I left the studio and we saw someone sort of sleeping in one of those old Jags with like a straw hat. And as we got closer, we were like, I think that's Perry Groves. And we were like, oh, maybe he'd been thrown out of his house. But no, he was just having a little kit before his show. So, a bed in the studio, absolutely brilliant idea.
Especially an inflatable one.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
I know, inflatable bed and a tiger. And then we'd get some YouTube hits, wouldn't we? It is Max and Andy with you until 4.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles that go the distance for your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Harry the Farmer says, I've had a few mishaps with online purchases. I bought a telly for £15 and a picture of a telly turned up. I got drunk and bought a two-man kayak, which I had to go and collect. Keep those coming, please. 81089 at Max Rushden. And what do we do? What are we doing? Say, some bits. In just a second, I lean back and say, Andy, what have you got? Then Alex Brooker will join us, friend of the show, of course. He's learning to run on blades. Find out if he's any good at that. Stan Collimore's on. There'll be a Fools panel with Joe Shen and all that in the next hour. Right now, Will Hobbs has the sports.
Thank you, Max. Good afternoon. With 4 new starters in the ranks, can the slot machine start its defence with a bang against the Cherries? Liverpool versus Bournemouth is live and exclusive on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. And Alex Crook reckons the Reds' top scorer this season won't be their Egyptian king.
Mo Salah will do well, I think, to hit the numbers that he hit last season. He's a year older.
Absolutely.
Obviously, he didn't finish last season brilliantly. You've got AFCON as well, midway through the season, so you're going to lose him for a period of time. I think Ekitike might outscore Salah this season.
Meanwhile, Iraiola's new left-back, Adrian Trufair, has told us about replacing Milos Kerkez.
He did a very good season last year, and I'm ready for this. I will try to give everything on the pitch to be at my best level and to do a very, very big season.
Daniel Farke has confirmed the signing of Dominic Calvert-Lewin on a free to Leeds. Do Arsenal have to make Rice captain to become winners? David Seaman says no, but Tony Adams and Ray Parlour say yes.
You've got to be ruthless as a manager. That's if you think Declan Rice could do a better job, then you have to make that big decision.
On to boxing, and AJ wants his next fight to take place out in Ghana, but promoter Eddie Hearn is not so sure.
In the world of sort of normality, I think a big heavyweight fight in Africa could be next for Anthony. In the world that we live in, of complete madness, it may just be Jake Paul in a stadium in America.
And Freddie Flintoff's putting his considerable heft behind a campaign to help more hospitals get helipads. He says the one on the roof of St George's Hospital in South London was vital to saving his life after his Top Gear crash.
talkSPORT News.
Donald Trump's posted about high stakes as he heads to Alaska for a meeting with Putin, and the King and Queen have led the nation at a special service on the 80th anniversary of VJ Day. Emma has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With a huge range of premium brands available, we've got what you need to drive away happy every time. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Light rain and the odd shower in Scotland. Cloudy in parts of the north of England. Bright and sunny across most of England and Wales. And it's still very warm.
Listening to Rushden and Jacobs on talkSPORT. Yes. It's got a ring to it, hasn't it? Yeah, Paul who? Don't worry. Is he having another week off? You get Danny Kelly for a week and then Paul's back. In partnership with Toolstation this summer, shop Toolstation. Get your award-winning Hawksbee lawnmower in-store, on app or online. Next stop, Toolstation. Andy, what have you got, Andy?
Well, I was quite interested in the new broadcast revelations for this season. I've already made the sort of observation that the halftime interview will be the most pointless thing ever invented.
Who are they getting?
Well, it doesn't matter who they get, because whatever happens, I guarantee, and there's 215 games on Sky, there'll be 215 times the person interviewed goes, yeah, we've done all right, but there's 45 minutes to go. still, it's only half time.
I was at the...
It's pointless. It's absolutely... What else can they say? Even if they're 3-0 up, they're going to go, well, yeah, we're doing well, but you never know.
Gravy said, I tell you, he's been useless for us.
Yeah.
Van der Ven's, they're an absolute stinker.
It's just not going to happen.
I was at the Maracanã once, and they had this. And Adriano, do you remember Big Adriano was playing for Flamengo? And he'd put on a bit of timber by this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, they interviewed him for the whole of half time, pretty much. Really? And I was just thinking, surely the gaffer's looking around going, where's Adriano? Where's he gone? Yeah, no, I agree with you. Seems pointless. Ref cams. Quite dizzying, aren't they?
Oh, I don't like ref cams.
I don't need ref cams. It's like playing Eye of the Beholder on the Amiga.
Also, more in-stadium VAR graphics to illustrate offside decisions, as well as referees announcing to the crowd pointless. It's utterly pointless. It's not what we want to hear. What we want to hear is the chat between them, not the wait for it for 3 weeks for, Howard Webb and Michael Owen to sort of evaluate. No, we want to hear it as it happens. That's what we want.
No, I want to hear what the referees sound like, because for years you've got absolutely
Well, you'll hear
no
what he
idea.
sounds like when he's talking to the.
I know. No. I want to hear. I want to hear, just in case Peter Banks has got either James Earl Jones or Joe Pasquale's voice.
That's why I think
it'd be really good if they just say exactly
offside.
It'd be really fun if one of them just does that. They turn their mic and then just go, I am your father. Go on, whoever's reffing tonight, go on, do that. There's a dodgy VAR. It's 0-0, 93rd minute. Is Salah offside or not? And then just the referee, just your chance to shine. That's your moment to just, stand there and go, bleep you, San Diego. Oh, it'll be absolutely tremendous.
They won't, though.
No, of course they won't. They're very sensible people, referees.
Really. And what else did I notice? Oh yes,
I've noticed this, Andy.
Have you?
While you're dilly-dallying with your notes,
okay, fine.
An egg-obsessed man eats up to 14 a day. Despite his girlfriend being put off by his stinky habit, Ruben Owen, 24,
I read about this.
spends £20 a week fueling his obsession, adding them to everything from pizzas to burgers. And both acceptable. An egg on a pizza.
Burger.
An egg on a burger.
Yeah.
His partner, Amber, isn't happy with the stench, threatening to move out of their home due to the gassy issue the food causes. Ruben from Abersoch in North Wales told What's the Jam, whatever that might be, my girlfriend is sick to death of me because I can't stop eating eggs. She says she can't remember the last time she had a peaceful night's sleep because the gas wakes her up. What's the most number of eggs you've eaten in a day, Andy?
2.
Or
maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Maybe like that woman the other day that puts them in a jar. And
yes, jar of farts.
Tremendous she is. No
They
question
could get
about
together, couldn't they?
I was reading about Jodie Gibson. She's got a new series out.
Josie Gibson?
Josie Gibson, yes.
She once wrote an article in a magazine that says, I quote, I was a twat.
Really? What, you?
Yeah. She said, I hate Max Rushden, like in a column.
I hate Max Rushden.
I hate Max Rushden.
Really, like that?
Yeah.
God blimey, what inspired her to do that?
We'd been at
Did you ever go at Bristol?
We'd been at a dinner, and I think it was a terrible time. I was chasing an actress from 90210. It was not going well, but I didn't pay her enough attention. She was talking about opening a sex toy factory in Bristol, and I just wasn't that interested. But apparently I appeared rude to her.
Yeah.
I apologise, Josie, but it's now framed on my wall.
No, well, I wouldn't bother. I mean, this series sounds terrible.
What is it?
Well, it's the same thing. I call this celebs get paid to go on holiday.
Okay, yes,
Who cares? You know what I mean? We've had Alison Hammond. I like Alison Hammond, but I don't want to see her go to Florida with a boy. Gary Barlow's wine tours in South Africa. I mean, seriously, who cares? This is another one on tonight. Lost in the Desert with Nick Knowles. If only. That's all I can say. He doesn't like me, Nick Knowles. I once tried to advise him on his bowling.
Oh, really?
Oh, he got a needle with me.
Really? What was Knowles doing? Dibbly dobblers?
He just wasn't getting it right, and I was at mid-off. And
right.
I'm quite a good cricket coach, and I sort of I said,
if you say so yourself.
Well, I am.
Yeah.
I said, do you want a bit of a tip? And he just no. He was right. Wow. I think I had actually slagged him off on the show previously.
I understand.
And maybe he realised.
He remembered.
He possibly did.
What had you slagged him off about? His bowling action?
Probably.
He only got 4 wickets for Notts that month. Terrible.
I know. What can you do? Never mind. You can't.
No, we're hated by the showbiz world.
You can't get everybody to like
somewhere right now. Nick Knowles and Josie Gibson are doing a radio show. I tell you, who I hate Rushden and Jacobs. This is their worst nightmare of a radio show.
Absolutely right. He would be. And you see, Netflix have extended Harry and Meghan's deal for
yeah. I haven't really followed a lot of Meghan's work, and I do think people should leave her alone, frankly.
Altogether now, what a waste of money. Why would they pay them anything? What's the point?
No, but have you seen that amazing clip when she is on a podcast with someone else and they're talking about the power of yet? Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
When they're saying, I've not had a good day yet. The power of
We've not done a good show yet.
My 6-month-old hasn't passed a solid stool yet. The power of yet. It's of an eye. When people say, obviously I don't follow anything she does. Good luck to her. Have a nice life. Great. Don't care. I have no interest in the royal family, whether they're in it or not. Just don't care. But when you finally see, and like people accuse me of being banal. This is insane. Like this is a new level. This is sort of like this is the zenith. This is the absolute peak of banality. You can't go anywhere from this.
I know.
The power of, yeah.
But somebody's watching it, and they must
lots
be.
of people. Honestly, it's sort of masochistic, but
I don't get it. But I don't get a lot of things. I don't get Brooklyn Beckham's cooking.
Oh, I mean, I've never tasted anything.
Seriously, this was a couple of weeks ago, but this aspiring cook, Brooklyn Beckham, serves up a crispy-looking spaghetti carbonara.
Good for him.
But it's burnt. It's like I've got bits of burnt bacon
Well,
in
he's
it.
taken probably guanciale.
Yeah, that's what he says. You're saying, God, that's somebody that comes from Islington. Guanciale.
Listen, I'm from the streets.
Yeah, very much.
Just because I'm from the street doesn't mean I can't appreciate,
Guanciale has a lot of sugar in it, which is why it's darker. It's burnt. And he probably didn't even cook it anyway. And I like the fact that he's got this...
Dare you? If you're listening, Brooklyn, sue Andy for all he's worth. I bet you made that carbonara.
He didn't.
And you don't know he didn't make that carbonara.
Well, apparently
you can't
not.
prove it.
Well, that's
really?
what they say, yeah.
Who's they? Who is they? Who on earth are they? Who have got the time to be the they and the people that are saying...
Clemmy Moody of The Sun.
Clemmy Moody, how do you know whether Brooklyn Beckham cooked this carbonara or not?
He said that he said this week, Brooklyn's a sweet and humble boy who could not help the surname he inherited at birth. Blimey, he certainly made a career out of it, though, you've got to say him. Yeah.
Must be very
Even
hard,
his sauce,
right?
he calls his sauce 23. And he said, oh, no, it's not named after my dad.
Right.
The number that he wore throughout his
No.
career.
It can't be. Listen, there are hard. You have a lot of privileges in life being the child of a Beckham, but I don't think it's easy.
Well,
I don't think it's easy,
isn't it?
No.
I think
in terms of finding true happiness and real sense of achievement.
No, I sort of know what you mean.
You see what I mean?
Yes, I do. But
The same way. I mean, like you get a lot of privileges if you're in the royal family. It's probably an absolute nightmare, isn't it?
I wouldn't say no.
There's a lot of ceremony.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bother with that.
I've always said that it's a really easy job. Who couldn't do that? Just go along and shake people's hands.
You would be absolutely terrible. You would be the worst person ever.
I'd be brilliant at it.
You'd be like, Prince Philip on Heat. Oh my God, King Andy's called someone else a bleep. You'd be an absolute disaster. The soft power of this nation would crumble as King Andy I ruins relations with the Serbs again.
I think I'd quite like it. But
Pete in Edinburgh says, I did see Nick Knowles at a polo match last year in Cheltenham. Never spoke to him, don't know what he's like, realise this adds nothing to the show.
He does a great job on DIY SOS. I have to say, no, he does. They do great work.
He does. But his medium pace.
Much more than I ever achieved, so let's be honest about it.
I don't know. I think you've achieved a great...
I don't think I have.
What's Andy achieved in
I've
life?
never helped anybody rebuild.
You've kept people company. You've done this show now for, 80 years? You've kept people company for that long.
I know.
You should be delighted with your...
Well,
you should get an MBE.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Very
and when King Charles, he's putting the sword over his boat, he said, "Isn't easy? You got an easy job. What's the point, Charlie?" What's happening next? Alex Brooker's going to join us, and we'll talk about him learning to run on blades for some reason. Now, this is Rushden and Bakers on talkSPORT in partnership with Tool Stations. This summer, shop Tool Station. They do sell other things, but do buy a Hawksby lawnmower in store, on app, and online. Next stop, Tool Station.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Time now for today's Bet Builder with our friends at Paddy Power. Welcome to Lewis Richards. Hey, Lewis, you okay?
How are we doing?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. We're doing a Bet Builder from Super Sunday, aren't we? Manchester United playing Arsenal at Old Trafford. God, it's such a brilliant game for the opening weekend, isn't it, Lewis?
Like they asked this morning, they were like, what game do you want to go for? I know we did Liverpool yesterday. So obviously, I'm a bit biased. Because it's got to be Man United Arsenal. Huge game.
Yeah, and whoever doesn't win, the pressure on them is enormous, isn't it? Remind us, please, how this Bet Builder works.
Of course. So for anyone new to Bet Builder, just think of the Bet Builder as your classic hacker. But instead of putting multiple teams together, you're putting different outcomes together in one certain match. Bet lasts you for entire 90 minutes. Add as many legs as you want. Choose from hundreds of markets. And of course, with Paddy's Super Sub, if one of your players is substituted off and the substitute comes on the scores, passes, etc., you'll still be paid out as a winner.
Okay,
Yes,
so a 5-leg Bet Builder. I've gone for both teams to... I did have Liverpool to score, Arsenal to score from a corner. Didn't I? I think it's a good one. I wasn't allowed that, so I've gone both teams to score.
Yeah, very special. We want to get off to a winner. So, selections like Arsenal to score from a corner, we'll try to avert from them for now.
Silly. I understand. I apologise.
Yeah,
Bless
both
you,
teams-
Andy.
I know, I've got hay fever. I do apologise.
That's okay.
Fellow sufferer, I'm with you.
Pray for both of you. Pray for both of you.
Go on.
Both teams scored 30 to 20. Both teams have scored in 3 from the last 5 fixtures at Old Trafford, I believe. They've got new attacking options, so of course they'll want to shine. If we look at pre-season, United have conceded in each of their last 4. I think Arsenal have conceded from each of their last 3. So if you want to take pre-season into account, both teams to score looks quite good.
Andy, what have you gone for?
Gyökeres. That's how you pronounce it.
Gyökeres. I had where's he from again?
Gyökeres.
Where's he from? Is he Polish? I got this wrong?
No, Swedish.
Swedish. Oh, yeah, my apologies. Swedish, yes.
I think he'll hit the ground running. I rate him. I think he'll score.
A Swede messaged me and said it's Gyökeres.
Gyökeres. But fair enough. But I think he'll score. Definitely. Not definitely, but hopefully.
You certainly won't get that type of pronunciation of Gyökeres with me. I've got it written down as Gyökeres, just to make sure that I know how to pronounce it. Be it 65 to score any time. There is some real buzz about this guy. Arsenal fans as well finally get a striker. So we certainly think he's going to hit the ground running. He's the shortest price favourite to score at 6 to 5.
Okay.
For value, though, I would be tempted if he started to look at Havertz. He's 12 to 5 for the same market, but Gyökeres is just as good at 6 to 5.
Producer Sean's gone for Saka to get an assist.
Yeah, so big price, I think, 11 to 4. He had 10 assists last season, which I think put him joint 4th for assists in the league. And that's not bad for a player who you remember was injured for quite a chunk of the season. Yeah. If you wanted to go, 11 to 4 is quite big. If you did think that Saka was going to score as well, you could look at the 6 to 5 for Saka to score or assist. But 11 to 4 is nice.
People's pick is an Arsenal victory, Lewis.
They have gone for Arsenal to win, and they're even money. So normally, if you looked at league positions from the last season and you saw a team that finished second at even money to beat a team that finished 15th, you'd think it was an amazing value. But we know this is Man United versus Arsenal. It's not going to be easy. I don't think United are going to make it easy. But Arsenal have really decent numbers when you look at them last season. They didn't lose any games against the so-called Big Six clubs. They won 5 and drew 5. So I think that goes in well. And if Arsenal want to stop being the bridesmaids, I think they need to win games like this. So even money, not too sad.
I mean, you say
they
Man United
struggled there over the years, though. But and I think United they're obviously going to be a lot better than they were last year. But how much better is a debate.
They can't get much worse.
No, they can't. But you know that if you sign that many goals, you'd presume often last year it was missing chances. So you'd think they'd pick up a lot more points. What about your selection, Lewis?
Yeah, I have gone for Ugarte to be carded at 6 to 4. So I said, I don't think United will make this easy. For a curtain raiser, let's set the tempo for these two teams. Let's get a spicy fixture. He was United's most booked player last season with 11 bookings. So 6 to 4 looks quite nice.
Yeah, it's important. For the midfield is where they need to strengthen. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, and actually if they play those 3, so Fernandes goes deeper, Ugarte will be running backwards a lot. Yes. So he might just nick someone. Okay, what does that all work out as, please, Lewis?
Just over 28 to 1. So if we can get this in, that's £282 to the Attitude Foundation.
Lovely stuff.
Last year, the Attitude Foundation, we kept them waiting to the very last day of the season. And we finally won one. It was incredible, really.
Okay, so
we
this is
felt
a chance.
bad.
Let's kick off with a win now. Cheers, Lewis.
Would be nice. Cheers, guys. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Well, that's Paddy Power's Bet Builder for today. Minimum odds 1 to 5 per leg. 18+ begambleaware.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18+ begambleaware.org.
Now on Monday,
I did venture that we should just give them the stake money. At least that'd be 380 quid.
it's a shorter feature, isn't it?
That's true.
Did 10 quid to a charity. Cut out the middleman. Now on Monday, I was meant to be doing this show with Alex Brooker, but he cried off.
Oh, dear.
Cried off with flu.
Ooh.
And so his like-for-like replacement was Scott Minto. Who did an excellent job. But Alex did say, look, I'm learning to run on blades and I'm hopeless. And when I do it, I'm 8'3" or something like that. So I wanted to find out about it. He joins us now. Hey, Alex, are you better?
Mate, I'm a little bit better. You questioning my work ethic there? Old Tom Brady sat in a seat.
yeah. He's not,
I'm just getting over it. Thank you.
Well, good to hear. And thanks for not spreading out around the office. Although, he's a bit of a pretender here, Brooker. He's coming in, he's getting these shows. You've got to keep these people down, haven't you? Hey, look, Alex, tell us about this. Tell us about what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm taking part in the superhero try on Saturday at Eton Dorney. It's basically it's a triathlon for disabled people. We got a lot of young disabled people competing, and it removes all the barriers. People, there's a swim, but you're allowed to bring whatever kind of different aids that you need, like kind of walking aids. People do the cycle on trikes and stuff like that. So there's myself and a lot of Paralympians that are taking part, and we have young disabled people on our team, which it's the best bit of the day, I think, because I know that, Max, I remember speaking to you when I did, there's a picture of me that's how tall I am in the blades, by the way.
I'm amazing,
I'm 6'1" in them, which is incredible. I know Josh Widdicombe isn't a great barometer for height, but I'm normally a similar height to him. And I'm taking part in my blades for the first time. To be honest with you, I don't actually know how far it is I've got to do. I had a look on the sheet.
28 miles, Alex.
No, it can't be. For goodness sake.
I think it's either it's 1K, 3K, or 5K, and I don't know which one. I think it's just however long I can go. But it's my first time taking them out and about, because I live in Huddersfield and they're not really built for hills, if I'm honest. So it was my first time to give them a little try out on flat ground. But I must say, it's the thing with blade legs as a mechanism is they're great to propel you forward. They're efficient and you get all the spring in them, but the stopping in them, it's not like on your feet where you can just stop dead. You have to kind of stop at a distance. So when I was trying them out in the prosthetic leg clinic that I go to, I just kept running into the wall.
You need a parachute, like a drag car, that sort of thing.
Yeah, at one point I genuinely ran through a fire exit because I didn't stop in time. Because I've never been used to kind of basically being able to go quite, fairly fast.
Is it a feeling of freedom for you? It must be, in a sense.
Yeah, they're a wonderful contraption, and we actually years ago we tried me with because I wear one prosthetic leg, and we tried me with one blade, but actually because my left foot has problems itself, I actually couldn't keep up with the right.
You're running in circles.
I wasn't getting very far, Max. So we, the guys that I work with, my prosthetist, they decided to come up with a double blade for me, where it's almost like kind of like a stilt on the left leg and a regular kind of blade as you'd see in the Paralympics on the right. And it's fantastic, and it's something that I'm amassing a collection of different legs for different things now, which isn't something you hear every day. But I did a show for Channel 4 6 years ago called Sink or Swim, where we swam in the channel, and I got a swim leg for that, which was a prosthetic with like a fin at the bottom of it. So I've got the fin, I've now got the blades, and then obviously the cycling part. So I'm hoping one day to be able to kind of go to a full triathlon, maybe.
That's great.
I'll have to lose a fair bit of timber before that, I must say.
Now, we can see behind you, you've got a Thierry Henry shirt, and of course you are obviously a big Arsenal fan. Living up in Huddersfield, does that allow you to get to more more games in a sense? I mean, obviously.
Shall I tell you what the good thing for me now is, just, for example, Sunday, we've got United away, and it's 45 minutes across from me on the train, so it's an absolute result. I'm there on Sunday, and in a few weeks we've got Liverpool away, and I'll be going there. So actually, the away games are a lot easier. The good thing for me, especially when I'm on series with Last Leg doing Friday nights, is when we went back into the Champions League, we're at home more on Saturdays now. So that's been a good thing for me. So I've been able to get to a lot more games over the last few years. But yeah, the aways, obviously up north, there's so many teams. You know, Burnley have come back in. Leeds is just down the road from us. So it's good to have Leeds back in the Premier League this year. Although, I'll be honest with you, every time I go to Elland Road, the home fans do like to give you a little bit of abuse on the way out.
They would do.
Do you think Arsenal need a striker, Alex, or do I need to learn a new question for this season?
No, I think the omens are good for Arsenal this year, aren't they? The last time they finished second 3 years in a row, they went on and won it. So
do you know what? I feel like, you know, there was all the talk of the striker. We've now finally got Victor Gyökeres, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure on him. It's not just getting, you know, because people have been crying out for a striker for so long. I do feel like there's a lot of pressure for a new signing to hit the ground running. But I feel like we've bought fairly well, to be honest with you. Zubimendi, I think, is a great player from what I've seen of him. I think Noni Madueke will give us something different. Whether or not, you know, it was a lot of money that they were talking that they spent on him, but I think we needed another option, especially last year. If you look, when Saka got injured, and we had so many problems across that front line with players getting injured, we just didn't have the depth to cope with it. So, you know, I'm fairly optimistic. It's a tough old start. You know, United away. You know, I went last season. We got away with a draw, but to be honest with you, United could have won it at the end there very easily. It's never easy up there, so that's a tough old start. And then we got Leeds and then Liverpool away. So, I mean, to be honest with you, if we have this call again in 3 weeks' time, I could be going, I'll tell you what, it's all gone now.
It's got to
Honestly,
go.
they've given it. Or I'll be saying we're going to win it all.
Well, hopefully there's some huge refereeing controversy against Arsenal earlier in the season. That'll keep our phone lines going. Thanks, Alex. Good luck with the triathlon.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.
Good stuff. Alex Brooker there.
Great.
I think you're right. I have him second. Second is actually quite good, isn't it? It's quite hard to come second. Some good teams.
Look, no one can say, which is the beauty of it. But, you know, you'd imagine...
I just said it.
Well, they could win it. They
could.
Absolutely could win it. I mean, looking at Liverpool on Sunday, they definitely got to bed those players in, and you've got the possibility of Salah and Van Dijk being a year older. But Stan will have some interesting thoughts about this.
Absolutely. As I've written a column about this for the Gary Guardian, my lefty agenda. Predictions is too posh a word for it. It's just guessing.
Of course,
what we're all doing is
absolutely
just guessing. And we need a caller for the Fools panel to join me.
It's educated guessing at times.
Well, not mine. We need a listener to take part in the Fools panel against Stan Collymore, Joe Shannon, and the two of us. 03717 223344. If you would like to become world famous, as Philip and Wally says, for Mikel Arteta hasn't won the league yet. The power of yet. And Stan will join us in just a second.
League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Some are pretty straightforward. Arsenal are the Gunners because they were founded by a group of munitions workers, and Bournemouth are the Cherries because their old stadium was built right next to a cherry orchard. Then there's Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were 2 local toffee shops. Ipswich Town nicked their nickname off their opponents in the late 90s, Birmingham. The term Tractor Boys was chanted as a way to tease the team about their farming background, but they started using it themselves as a way to cheer on the team in victory instead. Take that, Birmingham. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Crystal Palace's nickname came from an extreme makeover. They were having a nightmare run in the 70s, and when they were relegated, their manager, Malcolm Allison, wasn't having it. I know what'll make us better, he thought, a new nickname. The Strong and Deadly Eagle sounded like a pretty good bet. And there's more to that story. Brighton used Palace's nickname to inspire their own. Ooh, bird, they thought. Let's just pick a different one for us. And so, in a heated match between the two teams back in 1976, when Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles," Brighton fans had the perfect reply. Seagulls, seagulls. So next time the away ends chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
James McAtee, yes, good signing, I think, for Forest along with Amari Hutchinson. Strengthens them, doesn't it, after they lost a lang.
Another 9 million in Chelsea's bin for Amari Hutchinson if he moves on.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
Wow, and then you can sell that to you. You can sell the sell-on clause for Amari Hutchinson back to yourself as well and make another 9 million.
Yeah, don't worry about
and work it all out. Yeah. All brought to you with Tool Station, this, by the way. Buy yourself a Hawksmoor lawnmower in-store, on app and online. Next stop, Tool Station. Let's say hello to Stan Collymore. Look ahead to the first weekend of the season. Stan, you okay?
Max, Andy, I'm super excited. It's ridiculous, really. I'm a 54-year-old man that still gets like 9 out of 10 excited about the opening day of the top level of English football. I suppose that's a good thing, isn't it? It's a bit like Peter Pan.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's good to still have happiness and joy.
No, I mean, me too. I'm even older than you, Stan. I never not get really excited on the first weekend of the season. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and as a Villa fan, I've got plenty to be excited about. You know, if you'd have believed a lot of the media in summertime, Emi Martinez was going to Man United, Ollie Watkins was going to Arsenal, Morgan Rogers was going to Manchester City. So along with PSR issues, we did a little bit of creative accounting, I think, like took a leaf out of your book, Andy, your club's book, Chelsea, and sold our women's team, which brought in some much-needed PSR revenue. Is that we face Newcastle United at Villa Park tomorrow at lunchtime. Hopefully they're shorn, well, they will be shorn of Alexander Isak, but with a very settled team that will look very familiar to Villa fans and fans of Premier League football, and a very good manager that keeps trying to push the club forward. So I'm, as a Villa fan, I'm very, very hopeful for the season ahead.
Yeah, it could work like Liverpool in that sense last year, that they didn't buy a lot of players and it worked in their favour. Whereas Liverpool...
Yeah, go on. Absolutely, Andy. I think there's a lot to be said. We all get very hopped up now, don't we? Once the season finishes, it's like how many players we're buying. And of course, another former club of mine, Nottingham Forest, 3-4 years ago, sort of broke the mould and brought in 20, I think it was 29, or that they broke the 30 mark in terms of players bringing in. So all of a sudden, for Premier League fans of any other club, bringing in 4 or 5 or 6 feels quite conservative. You know, Nuno, I've just got in front of me on my laptop the latest news breaking, of course, and Nuno said ideally we need 5 or 6 players, not just McAtee and Hutchinson if they come in. I think McAtee will significantly add to Forest. Hutchinson, not so much, but I think that he will be good to have around, and he's one that's got potential and could add modest numbers to Nottingham Forest. But in terms of Villa's transfer policy, the owners want to blow the doors off the place, but they just can't because of PSR. So, yes, I think that Villa fans turning up tomorrow, glorious Holt End and all parts of the ground, will look at the team coming out and saying, well, there's no reason we can't go on and have equally as good season. We're in the Europa League. The club wants to aim for Champions League again. And you hit the nail on the head there, Andy. The hope is that just having 2 or 3 incomings rather than 5 or 6 just freshens the place up a little bit and offers enough competition for places for Villa to still have a good season, because a lot of fans do have the mistaken belief that the more you bring in, the merrier. And I speak to a lot of managers and coaches, and they say, ideally each window a couple that literally walk through the door and people are starting to go, okay, he's an upgrade, he could help us. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and beyond can be quite disruptive to teams. So from a Villa perspective, we haven't added significantly, but we haven't lost significantly either.
Yeah, and actually it's interesting we talk about that when we look at Liverpool from last season and this season, and recency bias is always dangerous, and the Community Shield is just one game. But there are a lot of moving parts there. Florian Wirtz is a beautiful footballer, but he will change how the midfield has to play. The fullbacks, like Frimpong is so different to Trent Alexander-Arnold,
sure.
and Kirkus as well. That's 2 wingers, so it'd be really interesting to see how they get on tonight.
Yeah, I think Frimpong and Kirkus were brought in because of desperate need. Of course, the tragic death of Diogo Jota, you're never going to fill that. And there's going to be an emotional aspect to Liverpool's season as well, which it will be interesting to see how that develops. For me, the ongoing Alexander Isak situation, I know that Darwin Núñez has gone, I know that Luis Diaz has gone, but it presents a problem where you've got Salah, who is top man. He will defer to nobody. He is there as the top earner, one of the top 2 or 3 earners in the Premier League. And he's expected to score the goals, regardless of people getting very excited about Ekitike, Gakpo, Wirtz or Isak. And my concern with Liverpool is, not that there will be 5 forwards if Isak comes in. Again, Isak, Gakpo, Ekitike, Wirtz, Salah, if Isak does go to Liverpool, is absolutely, desperate to go there, and by all accounts just will not, is down tools at Newcastle. Is that I think it could be a case of too many cooks. And again, I think you make a really good point, Max, is that the automatic assumption when you buy 3 or 4 players that score lots of goals, let's just take Salah and Isak, that both are going to score 25 plus goals a season. Football doesn't happen like that. When I joined Liverpool in a British record transfer, the player that I ended up at Liverpool, and I think it was, 51 goal contributions in 85 games for Liverpool. It was very good. But I had to defer to Robbie Fowler. I had to go and play wide left. I had to drop off into the number 10 role because he was the dominant striker, scoring 30 plus goals a season. Whereas at Nottingham Forest, the club that I'd left, it was the opposite. So I just worry a little bit that fans, particularly younger fans, and again, they're all very excited. It's right to be excited that all of a sudden, if you've got 4 or 5 mainline forwards that all have the potential to score 25, 30 goals, the reality is, for supporters listening, same for Manchester United, Sesko, Bruno, Cunha and Buemo, only one is likely to do so. And that's right, because it's just almost an impossibility in a football team to have 2 or 3 players hitting 20, 25, 30 plus goals a season. So that all of a sudden you become a year or 2 in as a player, you think to yourself, crikey, I'm not top man here. And then you might get a little bit antsy and you might want to move again. So I just have a little bit of a nagging question mark over Isak to Liverpool, is whether Liverpool need him and whether it would be just a little bit cramped in the forward positions moving forward.
A lot of people have got Chelsea down as top 4, and me, Mr. Pessimistic, even I feel quite optimistic about this season, having watched them develop from the end of last season when they turned it around at Fulham to where they are now. There's something seems to have happened, and certainly last weekend they looked really sharp and really good.
Excellent coach that plays a very attractive style. You can see them playing that style now. Again, you have to ride the first 6 or 12 months, and it can be just luck at times. There isn't a manager out there that hasn't had a poor spell whereby large supporter bases don't take to X and say, he's rubbish, let's get rid of him. And Chelsea had their fair few of those, because I follow a lot of them. I think the only issue, Andy, is even with a big squad, how is the mental and physical fatigue? I remember talking to you about this, you and Paul, a few weeks ago. How is it going to, and it's the same for Manchester City, and I think I'm just starting to see a few cracks in PSG, despite the fact that they won the Super Cup, is that there's going to be some mental and physical drop-off the last 3 or 4 seasons. You can bring in players, you can buy as many players, you can have a squad depth of 25, 26, 30 absolutely A-class players. But if 16 or 17 or 18 of them have played through last summer and then played internationals before that and have got a World Cup coming up, there's going to be a lot for players to juggle. And again, having been in that position, it can be quite hard. And again, we all start the season with it's a clean slate, beautiful fresh pitches. Everybody thinks everybody's fresh and ready to go. But the only thing for me stopping Chelsea, I don't think they'll win the league. I think that Liverpool will win the league. I think that Arsenal and Manchester City will vie for 2nd or 3rd. So for me, when I did my predictions with you last week, it was Chelsea around 3rd or 4th. Is the fact of what are the last 3 or 4 months of the season going to be like in terms of fatigue, mental and physical, and what are the shape of teams that are potentially chasing in the pack, which you would imagine that Villa and Newcastle will be there or thereabouts. Whether it's enough to put serious pressure on a Chelsea or an Arsenal, I doubt this season, if we're looking at both Villa's and Newcastle's squad and their inability to be able to add significantly. But the obvious two that have got a huge gap to bridge is Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United. And I don't think they'll bridge that gap. So I think that Chelsea will finish comfortably in the top 4. It's just what flavour of Champions League they're going to end up with, and what damage they can also do in the Champions League, in the FA Cup, in the League Cup. And I think that Chelsea will come away with trophies this season. It's just which trophies will they come away with?
Yeah, I think United are interesting, though. I think Spurs, I agree with you, Spurs look like they need some creativity. They've got to deal with the Champions League as well, and a new manager who will make them much harder to beat. There's no question about that. But United are interesting, Stan, because they haven't got European football, and they have brought in a lot of goals.
Yeah, but do you know what they remind me of? And again, sort of older listeners will remember this. I think it was about 1983, 84, 85, 84, 85. And Manchester United brought in John Severbeck, Danish international, Jesper Olsen, Alan Brazil. They brought in Gordon Strachan, and they had this sort of red kit with a sort of white and black.
A nice kit, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that? Really nice kit. And Liverpool had dominated, and it was like this was going to be United's season because they threw loads of money, relatively, I would imagine, in wages at these extraordinarily talented players that were going to come in. And I think they started the season really well. I think that they may have even been top for a significant period of time. I don't think that'll be the case with this Manchester United, but I asked the question of United fans on X, and they're like, well, we bought Euro and we bought in the last 2 or 3 windows, so we have got defenders. What are you talking about? Yes, most of the players that you've bought in the last 2 or 3 windows have helped you to a 30-odd point gap difference between the clubs at the top and where you finished last season. So that you're automatically assuming that Sesko, Cunha and Mbeumo are going to hit their straps. That could take the time. But let's say they do. Let's say they beat Arsenal 3-2, 3-0, 3-1. Is that I think that the defensive issues and the lack of a really deep midfield will curtail Manchester United's ability to get into the top four. It's Manchester United. They can go in the January transfer window and bring in some really good loans and people that could make a big difference. Attack, attack, attack is the philosophy. 80,000 people is always something that you want to play in front of. They're one of the world's biggest football clubs. But I don't think it's automatically as simple as United have brought in 3 forwards, therefore they're going to be in the Champions League. I think that there will be, and I think that secretly, somebody like Amorim would be incredibly happy if they nailed 5th quite comfortably, won one of the domestic cups, and got into Europe by right. Of course, United fans will say, we want Champions League. I'm telling you now, there is zero chance, even with Sesko, Bruno, Cunha and Buemo, and I'm happy to have my words rammed firmly down my throat, Manchester United will not get into the top 4 this season, period, as the Americans say.
Stay where you are, Stan. We'll do a Fools panel in just a second. All right, can we do a Fools panel in 7 minutes? Almost impossible.
Of course we can.
We'll do our very best. I'm representing Paul Hawksby. I won't throw you under the bus, Paul. Andy representing himself. Stan Collymore with us will represent the pros. Joe Shannon is our commentator today. Is at Anfield for Liverpool Bournemouth later. Hey, Joe.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you?
Yeah, very
Good job during the Euros, Joe. Well done.
Thanks, Andy. I mean, what a tournament that was. I mean, we barely had about 10 days break, haven't we, before we're right back into the Premier League again. But that's the way football is nowadays. It is wall to wall, and looking forward to it tonight.
Look at that, deflecting a compliment. It's all you needed was a compliment from Andy Jacobs. You've made it now, Joe. You can retire. Representing the audience, Julie, the Chelsea fan. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Are you reckon top 4 for Chelsea, or are you going for the title?
Do you know what? I really think that they've got a very good chance this year of doing it. I'm very, very optimistic.
Okay, I like this. Some enthusiasm because no one's played any games. All right, then, let's start with Liverpool-Bournemouth, 8 o'clock tonight, live on talkSPORT. Let's go to you first, Andy. What do you reckon?
Well, I do think that the emotions will carry Liverpool a long way, and Bournemouth have lost so many players and they're so disrupted. I can't see this being anything less than maybe the misfunction a bit. 2-0 to Liverpool.
2-0 to Liverpool. Stan Collymore.
Liverpool haven't lost an opener at Anfield, in the Premier League, full stop, in the last 12 seasons, so they start very well. Cherries 1 point from the last 24 at Anfield, and the Reds have won 11 of the last 12 versus AFC Bournemouth. That says to me, along with the outgoings from Bournemouth, their whole back line, Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 0.
3-0. Joe Shannon.
What are those strange stats, strange quirks of football? Bournemouth have never won at Anfield. Would you believe it? And I think for similar reasons to what Stan has said, you know, the disruption that they've had over the summer, coupled with the quality that we know Liverpool have going forward, I think it'll be a little tighter, but I think Liverpool will win, and I think they'll win 2-1.
Julie?
I agree with Collymore. I actually think it's going to be 3-0 to Liverpool.
3-0. I've gone 3-1 Liverpool. Next one, the PSR derby, Villa versus Newcastle. Exclusively live to talkSPORT tomorrow morning. Let's begin with you, Stan Collymore.
Aston Villa are unbeaten in 21 at Fortress Villa Park. Newcastle have lost 5 of the last 6 at Villa Park. Not a happy hunting ground, although I was there for the one that they won 3-1, and they absolutely gave Villa a footballing lesson. No Isak, Villa settled. Aston Villa 2, Newcastle United 1.
2-1. I'm with you. Same score, 2-1 to Aston Villa. Julie, what are you saying?
I actually think it's going to be 2-0 to Villa. All the shenanigans that have gone on with Newcastle, I think that will play a part in the new score.
All right, 2-0. Joe Shannon?
I think these two will be neck and neck throughout the season. I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2, and Andy Jacobs.
Yeah, I think 2-0 as well to Villa.
2-0 to Villa. And finally, Manchester United, Arsenal on Sunday. Julie, what do you reckon that'll be?
I think that both teams will score. I can't see Man United winning. 2-1 to Arsenal.
2-1 to Arsenal. Even though I went both teams to score in my bet builder, I've gone for a 3-0 Arsenal victory. Pressure on Amorim straight away. Andy Jacobs, what do you reckon?
I think this will be a draw. I'm going for quite a dull 1-1.
A dull 1-1. Sky will be delighted. Stan Collymore, what do you reckon?
Manchester United have lost 2 of their last 18 versus Arsenal at Old Trafford. Arsenal have scored, though, in the last 11 at Manchester United's home ground. And congratulations to Arsenal. This is their 100th consecutive season in the top flight, unmatched by any other club. Desmond, Manchester United 2, Arsenal 2.
Of those 100 years, which was the best, Andy?
Oh, the Invincibles, obviously.
Unless you remember them all. Finally, Joe Shannon.
I think this is one of the most fascinating fixtures of the first weekend. It'll be really interesting to get that first glimpse of both sides in terms of the new look players. And I think it'll be a draw too, 1-1.
1-1. Joe, have a good game tonight. Thank you, pal.
Thanks, Jed. See you soon.
See you soon. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Stan, lovely to speak to you. It's been a while, and thanks for your company, pal.
Yeah, cheers, then.
Likewise, Max and Andy. Up the Villa.
Up the Villa. Good stuff. Stan Collymore there. There we are. There's your first Fool's Panel of the season. We did it. 3 points for a direct hit. If you get the correct results, score. You know what I mean. 1 point. Let's see how the season pans out.
Good afternoon. With your sports headlines, I'm Will Hobbs, and the brand new Premier League season is mere hours away. Can Liverpool claim a second consecutive title, or will their closest rivals close the gap and snatch victory? Dean Saunders has told us Liverpool have some work to do if the Community Shield is anything to go by.
The two fullbacks really, they weren't in sync 100% yet with Van Dijk. Van Dijk was probably playing 2 yards in front of him. And Frimpong, he's got to get on Salah's wavelength.
Unsurprisingly, we'll have loads of build-up to Liverpool's curtain raiser with Bournemouth this evening. It's live and exclusive on talkSPORT. Plus, we'll hear more from our exclusive chat with Arne Slot before kick-off. Bit of a bombshell, meanwhile, for Mikel Arteta after Tony Adams insisted he has to change his captain to turn his team into winners. The manager says he doesn't make that decision.
I asked him to vote the captain, and I got the results yesterday, and by a mile, but a big 100 miles, everybody choosing the same person, which is Martin Odegaard.
There you go. Omari Hutchinson, meanwhile, is undergoing a medical at Forest today. Nuno Espirito Santo says James McAtee is also close to joining. Leeds have confirmed Dominic Calvert-Lewin is now their man. And Eddie Hearn says he can't quite believe it, but AJ versus Jake Paul is the most likely next fight for the former world champion. And he's fired this warning to the YouTuber.
This is a bit like, you know when you used to tune in to watch David Blaine and see if he could get out the box or not?
Yeah.
And it's like, is he going to be all right? I don't know. This is like that. But I said to Jake Paul, you ain't in a box, mate. This ain't David Blaine. I said, so just be careful, because AJ will take your head clean off your shoulders.
And remember, Moses Italma's fight with Dillian White is live on talkSPORT this Saturday night.
talkSPORT News.
As Trump heads to meet Putin, he calls their one-on-one summit high stakes, and counsellors have told the High Court that housing asylum seekers in an Essex hotel is causing serious problems. Emma has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Heat wave outside, oven inside. Stay cool this summer with a free aircon check. Book online or visit your local QuickFit today.
Light rain and the odd shower in Scotland this evening. Cloudy in parts of North England. Bright and sunny across most of England and Wales. And very warm still.
The NFL returns to Wembley in October as the LA Rams take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and our competition to win VIP tickets is now open. That's right. We're giving you the chance to win 6 seats in a private box at Wembley Stadium.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland.
Spending money. Here is former Philadelphia Eagles linebacker Andy Jacobs to tell you how to enter.
For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission. Or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880, I don't know what I did like that, 3338. No, I'll do that again. 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 25th of August at 11 p.m, 18 plus UK, excluding Northern Ireland. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com.
Don't all go to the website at the same time for the T's and C's. You know, we don't want to crash it, do we? Let's talk to. Let's do some referee stuff. Who's the PGMOL's agenda against this season? Dale Johnson from ESPN. He's a very patient man, and he joins us now. How are you, Dale?
I'm fine, Max. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. The season hasn't started yet. I wonder how your mentions are. I just love it. It's this man explaining the laws of football to the internet that are so angry about all of it. And sometimes I just watch your polite reply to everyone going, no, that's not the law, Dave 10647.
Well, at the moment, it's mainly Arsenal fans who are believing that the changes that have come in are going to last for a few weeks and they'll go against their team and then change back to what it was.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? This is about the fact that wrestling at set pieces. I mean, Arsenal had it down to an art form last year. It would be nice. I mean, to an extent, all teams do it. Do you think, though, that this will be, the usual? This is what I feel. It'll be the usual 2-week crackdown. There'll be 16 penalties given. Everybody will moan like mad, and then they'll go back to letting it happen.
I mean, this is the acid test, isn't it? And it's what fans say at the start of every season when these new initiatives come in, that they feel that it's not going to last, it's going to be a few weeks, and it's going to go back. Howard Webb was at pains to say that this is not going to be the case this time, and the way he wants it to work, so it's not, is that the referees don't go in the first few weeks of the season and just give penalties left, right and centre for holding in the box. He says he wants it to be ticked up slightly to avoid the obvious cases of holding, but he doesn't want to get to a situation where we have lots of penalties given, so they have to roll back and end up back where they were. I mean, I think a good example was the added time a couple of years ago when we had the first weekend of the season where we had like 15 minutes in some games, and it was quite clear that that couldn't continue. And eventually we got back to a situation by about November where the added time was a little bit more, but nowhere near what it was at the start of the season. So I think everyone agrees that holding was getting quite ridiculous. There was a game I watched last season between Ipswich and Brentford, and every single corner was players being wrestled to the ground. And another point that Howard Webb made is that the referees are being told that, yes, give a warning earlier in the game about holding, but don't do it at every corner. Don't stop every corner if there's holding. Have the courage to start awarding penalties rather than stopping the game to just have this endless discussion over the grappling that started before the ball's in play. So I think fans would really appreciate that there isn't this endless discussion between the players and officials about what's going on these set pieces.
Yeah, I've written I'd like refs to stop talking to players at corners. That's exactly right.
But actually, I'd also like holding. Just on holding, sorry to interrupt. The trouble is that, a defender is holding an attacker over there, but then an attacker's holding a defender over there. And actually, there are too many penalties. So I think, and I shouldn't add a new directive before we've had this directive, is if anyone is holding, right, if there's more than one holding, then it's no penalty. So if one of your attackers is doing some holding somewhere, no penalty. There are too many penalties.
Yes, I'm not sure about that.
Right. It's all about impact, though, isn't it? I mean, you can't stop people holding on to opponents on these set pieces because obviously it's a contact sport. But it's all about when the line is being crossed, whereby the opponent is no longer able to go and challenge for the ball or able to move to the ball. And that's another thing that Howard Webb said. He didn't want this to just be about when the player's trying to get to a header. If there's real wrestling going off the ball, he wants that to be penalised as well. So people don't have the right to causing this blocking that happens on set pieces.
One new thing that I think worked really well in the Club World Cup is this clampdown on time-wasting goalkeepers. It really did stop it. And it's something that drives you mad. The ref gives the goalie a yellow card. He's never going to send him off, so what's the point? And you've wasted another 30 to 45 seconds. This way, you get a corner, and it'll stop it. Stone dead, because goalkeepers will get rid of the ball quickly.
Yeah, I think the important thing about this law change is it's not about giving corners. It's about getting the ball back in play quickly. And if goalkeepers do sort of go too far in the way they're trying to delay the game getting underway again, then there will be a corner. I mean, at the Club World Cup, there were only 2 corners awarded, which shows you that it was probably successful. Pierre-Luigi Collina says it was a big success. So what will really be challenged will be those times when a goalkeeper catches the ball and flops to the ground, lands on the ball, and then doesn't move for like 5-6 seconds. If a goalkeeper does that, they land on top of the ball, the count's going to start immediately. If it's just a general case of collecting the ball, standing up and looking around, they'll have a little bit of extra leeway. It's not going to be like when it gets to 8 seconds on the dot, that's it, it's a corner. It's about stopping goalkeepers taking liberties about how they're getting the ball back in play. And like you say, the other competitions so far, it's been successful. Goalkeepers have been adhering to it and making sure the ball is getting back in play. And yeah, we'll see what the proof is when the Premier League starts this weekend.
Who do you think will be the first manager with a stopwatch to say it's 8 seconds for me, 9 seconds for them? What
about the captain's only rule though?
Rule.
Yes, it's been brought in before. They never stuck to it. It's another one that it lasted for about that mad one where they were going to book the third person that came in. That didn't work either. So. They're going to try it, but whether they can stop this mobbing of referees, I'm not sure they will in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, well, they never really brought it in the Premier League officially, but now it's part of the laws of the game. They've seen how it's being used in other competitions and think it's the way to go. So now it's full on going to be captains only. There is hand gestures which the referee can make when he says he only wants to talk to the captain, which is like a hand towards a palm towards the players. That means that they should all back off and then the captain wants to speak. So it's going to be the proof's going to be in the pudding. But as we know, there's plenty of occasions last season when the referee was being mobbed.
We saw Ipswich get a penalty on the opening day of the Championship for a handball that made me just want to give up watching the sport, which is not the first time. What is the latest on handball, Dale?
So the PGMO are very, very happy with the way it's gone with handball. What they do is they do a survey of what they call stakeholders, which is basically captains, coaches, pundits, everyone, fans, people who are involved in the game, about various ways that it's officiated and how they think it should work in English football. And one of those last summer was handball, and people said that they didn't like the way handball was done, so it was rolled back, became more lenient, and there was only 9 handball penalties in the Premier League last season, which is by far the lowest of any league in Europe. And so they did a similar survey again, asking captains, etc., if they thought the current interpretation was how it should be. And it was like 78% said, yes, this is how we want it. And it was only like 3% who voted for a more stricter interpretation of handball. So while we had the Ipswich one, and we didn't have the one, of course, in the Community Shield when it hit Alexis Picasso's arm, the feeling is amongst those in the game that how we have it in English football, even though it's very different to other leagues, it's in a good place. There's far less controversy. Mind you, the controversy usually comes from penalties that are awarded rather than not awarded. But I think handball has gone away in English football. We don't argue about it as much as we did.
That's true. And this other one, players will not automatically be handed a second yellow card if they commit a foul after being already booked. But they had that anyway, didn't they? A sort of degree of leniency for the second offence.
So this was really about, there was a bit of a narrative last season which how Webb and PGMO were a bit sort of annoyed at, that whenever a player made a tackle or made a foul after he'd already been booked, there was a lot of talk about, oh, surely that's a second yellow, surely it's a second yellow. So this isn't a change so much. This is more of a underlining that just because a player commits a foul when he's been booked, that doesn't necessarily mean it should be a second yellow and a red card.
Is it a higher threshold, though? Isn't that the rule or not? Am I wrong in that?
No, it's still the same. It should be the case where if a yellow card is due, it should be due. I mean, I think
that's the problem, though, isn't it? Because you do see that the bloke's been booked, then he pulls somebody back, and everybody goes, "Well, if that was the first offence, he'd be sent off." But he isn't.
I think there's no doubt that sometimes referees do look at it when it's a second yellow, and will hesitate a bit rather than send a player off, because obviously the red card is a much harsher punishment than the individual yellow card by itself.
Well, look, Dale, you're a good man for doing what you do. Football needs you, and I hope you realise it, despite the constant sort of haranguing that you get on a daily basis.
Seems like you enjoy it, Max.
Yeah, there's some masochism there. I can sense it. Good stuff, Dale. Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it, lads.
Dale Johnson there from ESPN. The handball thing.
He's right about Arsenal fans, though. I mean, I can think of one particularly that he's always accusing the PGMO as a conspiracy against Arsenal.
Well, we did get that fact through this.
I don't think that happens, though.
Well, we got that fact through this morning saying this season we will be against Arsenal. That's what the PGMOL said. Start it now. See what happens. Anyway, what do we do next? Todd Macklin's here. Oh, good. Todd Macklin then clips Classic Friday. Lovely stuff. It's just downhill all the way for us. It's easy. I mean, downhill in a kind of easy rolling to the end of the show, not the show's getting worse. You see my point. music as we find out what's happening stateside in the world of sport. And Todd joins us now. You okay, Todd?
Yeah, Max, how you doing?
Yeah, excellent. Thanks very much. A perfect place to start here. What we learned from Taylor Swift on Travis Kelce's podcast. I've been itching to find out. I'm surprised I haven't downloaded it wherever I get my podcasts.
Well, listen, you're one of the few that didn't download it. I guess it set a record. 1.3 million people watched the first hour of the podcast. Wow. And I read that it broke the record of Donald Trump went on Joe Rogan's podcast, and it was only 800,000 for the first hour, but it was the record until Taylor broke it. So, we found out that she was releasing a new album. We found out that she's really grown to be a huge American football fan. And yeah, that's pretty much what I learned. But again, with her, it's incredible. The influence she's now had on American football. You wouldn't think those two worlds colliding, but it has, and the NFL is the better for it.
With Travis Kelce, there was this thing about whether he's going to retire or not. Is he back for another season?
He is back, definitely back for another season, and I think a lot of it will depend on how things play out this season, on whether he stays for another year. Listen, his brother's already retired. Travis Kelce's got so many opportunities his way, whether it was just the easy one of being a pundit involved with NFL broadcast, right? What did we saw Tom Brady sign for like a $300 million deal with Fox? Wow. Travis Kelce is probably in that range just because of his popularity. He's in the Adam Sandler Happy Gilmore 2. I think there are acting possibilities. Listen, the guy's not going to win any Academy Awards, but really it's about, being in movies that people are going to watch. His opportunities are endless. So I wouldn't be shocked if this is his last year.
Sure. I watched that film. It's good fun.
Really
good.
Yeah, me too.
Brilliant movie. Such a laugh.
Great.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like Taylor Swift's sort of global impact is extraordinary. And so is she, because of her relationship, but do you think she has brought fans to the NFL? Like, is there an example that her power extends to like growing that sport?
100%. As with anything, you're trying to reach people that aren't quote unquote your kind of hardcore fans, right? I think every sport, everything is looking to increase their fan base. And listen, before Travis and Taylor got together, there's no way you would look at her fan base, the Swifties, and say, well, there you go. They're going to be American football fans. It just wasn't the case. And now we've seen it with the TV ratings for the Chiefs games. They are just so much significantly higher than any other team. And it is based on her fan base that are specifically watching Kansas City Chiefs games.
And we know there's a lot of money in college football, but reading here that Arizona State University have unveiled new field-level seats in a suite. Starting price $5,000, apparently. That is a lot of money. Is that a season ticket or is that a game?
That is for a season ticket.
Oh, right.
And remember, they only play about 7 games.
Yes.
So when you do, the 5,000 is per game. So if you want to get the whole year, it's for 4 seats. So that 5,000 is divided among four different people. It's just, I went online and looked at this deal. It's in the end zone, right? So you're pretty far from the action. You're only in the end zone. If the play's going into that end zone, yeah, you get to see something. But, when the play's down at the other end, you're over 100 yards away from the action. So there's that. They're kind of folding chairs. I get it. Arizona State, you're trying everything you can, again, to get different revenue streams and more revenue streams. So you've kind of created this opportunity for people. And it doesn't look like much, but again, they're offering a parking pass. They're offering free food. And it's amazing in our world today with the cost of everything, how much weight free food has, guys. And I think that's probably one of the biggest perks of these this kind of new offering from Arizona State University.
Yeah. I mean, it's not essentially free if you're paying $5,000.
No.
Are they folding chairs because you're in the end zone? So if a Hail Mary comes in, you have to quickly fold it up and jump out of the way.
It is like you're close again, but you're only close to that end zone and that. But I'm telling you this, we just finished talking about the NFL and the popularity, and the NFL is the number one sport in America, no question. But college sports is incredibly big as well. People feel an affinity to their university in the U.S. like no other country. We don't have it in Canada. We don't feel that love for our university, that passion for our university like they do in the U.S. I'm going to tell you, I bet you these seats, these boxes are all going to be sold out. Now, again, a lot will depend on the team. If they're winning, no question are people going to pay, a lot of money for what probably isn't a great experience. But again, it's that pull of college sports that is pretty incredible to see in the U.S.
Yeah, it's mad. It sort of totally passes you by. There's these hundreds of thousands of people going to watch it. And I suppose it's interesting. When I watched Cambridge United, for years I stood in the North Terrace, which meant when it was down your end, you did know what was going on. But basically, anything at the other end, we're completely guessing as to what's happening. It wasn't just a terrible place.
I sit behind the goal at Chelsea. I don't mind it. But my Instagram algorithm obviously detects that I like baseball. And it keeps sending me all these mad things. This week, I don't know if this, because you never know if it's from this season or recently, or you can't work it out. But a pitcher was just finishing his sort of warm up, and the catcher threw the ball and it hit him right on the back of the head. Was that this week?
That wasn't this week, but it was this season. And it was. We do a show on Sportsnet called the Misplays of the Month. The top misplays, and that was one of the top misplays, right? The catcher threw the ball back, the pitcher wasn't looking, hit him on the back of the head. Thankfully, he was fine. He
wasn't very happy about it. He was quite annoyed.
He was not happy about it at all, right? Because the ball came at a pretty quick pace, but it did happen this year. Yeah, I mean, it happens maybe once a season, once every few seasons, but it happened this year, and it was funny because he was okay.
Now, the NFL have ranked all 32 teams' mascots by how likely they are to win in a fight. And once again, my beloved Cleveland Browns come bottom of another league. Genuinely the worst sports team in the history of all sport.
They're not great.
Yeah, that's just the way it is for people in Cleveland. This feels like this season is going to not bring a lot of joy as well to Cleveland Browns fans. And again, it shows the power of the NFL, right? It's incredible, right? We're in the NFL off season, but between the Taylor Swift on the Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce podcast, something like this, where you're talking about the mascots, people want to talk about the NFL 12 months of the year. Even in Cleveland, they want to talk about the NFL 12 months of the year, although their mascot, again, in a fight, is probably going to lose, just like the football team is probably going to lose a lot this year, too.
Brownie the elf. He's not great, is he?
He could have
not
you.
Great.
Have you,
no,
Andy.
an elf's not going to win, right? Too many fights with some of these animals, right? Buffalo is an animal and stuff like that. Cleveland going to come out on the short end again.
No, I can see
He's fighting Moses Atoma, apparently.
Fair enough. Live from Riyadh. And we'll do 20 hours pre-fight build-up, won't we? Hey, thank you, Todd. Thanks for coming on.
Todd.
See you, boys.
Todd Macklin there. Yes, a Buffalo Bill, an 8-foot buffalo, number one, a human-sized raven with a 3-foot beak named Poe, the Baltimore Ravens. It's fair enough. And Rampage, the LA Rams, brute force would make an unbelievable running back. Actually, on that, who would win in a fight between blah, blah, blah. It's not one Andy Jacobs-sized duck or 100 duck-sized Andy Jacobs. But now there's no Sean Dyche in the Premier League. Every question of which Premier League manager would blank, whatever it is, the answer was always Sean Dyche. So now we don't have Dyche. It has opened the field for, who would you like to go for a pint with? Who would knock you out? Who would whip up the best
nothing to do with
carbonara? Absolutely nothing. No, I'm talking about managers.
Managers.
Yeah. Sean Dyche leaves a hole. I predicted he'll keep Leeds up.
Chris
this
Wilder's carbonara is wonderful.
Is it? But he's not there either.
He doesn't use guanciale.
Well, the trouble was Sheffield United wanted a data-based carbonara, and Chris Wilder was like, "No, I just do it." They wanted a real menu. They wanted AI involved. They wanted biometrics, and Chris was like, "No, I just feel it. I feel the measurements." They were like, "We're not interested in that." Anyway, it's a commentator's clip special in just a second.
Oh yeah.
Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Some are pretty straightforward. Arsenal are the Gunners because they were founded by a group of munitions workers, and Bournemouth are the Cherries because their old stadium was built right next to a cherry orchard. Then there's Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ipswich Town nicked their nickname off their opponents in the late 90s, Birmingham. The term Tractor Boys was chanted as a way to tease the team about their farming background, but they started using it themselves as a way to cheer on the team in victory instead. Take that, Birmingham. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Crystal Palace's nickname came from an extreme makeover. They were having a nightmare run in the 70s, and when they were relegated, their manager, Malcolm Allison, wasn't having it. I know what will make us better, he thought, a new nickname. The Strong and Deadly Eagle sounded like a pretty good bet. And there's more to that story. Brighton used Palace's nickname to inspire their own. Ooh, a bird, they thought. Let's just pick a different one for us. And so, in a heated match between the two teams back in 1976, when Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles," Brighton fans had the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
talkSPORT Clips of the Week.
Oh yeah, time now for Clips of the Week. Next to the tool station. Andy just telling me to address the camera while I'm doing some talking. For those watching on YouTube and on your smart TV.
I was really telling myself,
and
really.
on your stupid TV as well. Yeah, it's a Clips special, isn't it? As always, if one of Paul or Andy is off. We save up the Zeitgeist ones for, 2 Fridays' time. It's going to be huge.
Going
isn't
to be
it?
a lot, yeah.
Man, it's a commentator special. Do you want to begin, Andy, or do you want me to? I don't mind.
You begin.
Okay. To kick off today's special, it is Ian the Moose Abrahams being subject to that annoying moment where you can't quite say the word correctly.
Absolutely no chance diving away to his right-hand side. Pandemonium. Pandemonium. You know what I mean? They went mad at the home end.
Yeah, pandemonium. In the office when he did that. Anyway, today's special gives us a chance to play this classic clip of Mickey Quinn falling from the gantry.
Picked up by Rosicki. Milan Baros finds Rosicki once again. On the overlap, it's Gabriel Selassie coming forward from right back. Pulls it back. It's 2-0! Pilar has made it 2-0!
It's great, isn't it?
Here's Nigel Adley. Love to Nigel with quite a masterful cover-up.
90 seconds of normal time to play. Bristol City with 11 shots on goal.
Yeah, it's okay, Nigel. No one noticed. And it's time now for Carry On Talk Sport with Alan Biggs.
I've had 6 inches in my back garden just 6 miles from here, and it's still there this morning.
You, Alan? Matron. Love smoking, Alan Biggs, though. It's full of absolutely just constantly puffing away. Yeah, anyway. Yeah,
true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Sponsored. He dresses like a sort of 1980s Formula One driver, sort of Rothmans everywhere. Stuart Pearce makes his first appearance. He's already picked a fight with himself.
I think there's a lot of people in this profession. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. That's wrong.
Okay, fair enough. Now, if you weren't aware, Jim Proudfoot is auditioning for Poet Laureate.
Pittman keeps it alive, stops it going out of play for a throw. Neat turn by Burgess, finds Lowe. Lowe, was it caught by Potter? The referee says no, and ultimately it's gone out of play for a throw.
It's fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know, it's
That's really good. Here's the Moose again, who's clearly still loving his job.
We've got a goal at Upton Park, Ian Abrahams.
Yeah, 3.5 to go. Won't make any difference to the scoreline. West Ham 3, Wigan 1.
Well, it does. It's an extra 3-1 now instead of 3-0. We knew what he meant.
We did.
At least, when you don't know someone's name, attempt to say it with gusto, like Stuart Pearce does here.
Dropped a shoulder, and as he was sliding, the ball getting away from him, he's stretching but got his shot away. And a wonderful save by Balada.
That's really good. And again here.
Liverpool lining up with Salah down the middle. We thought he might play on his accustomed right-hand side, but it's Slavoslav. I think that's the pronunciation, isn't it?
No, not really. But never mind.
Stuart Pearce, he can frankly do what he likes.
Of course he can.
Love that man.
Oh, yes. We know the Swiss have a few canny tricks up their sleeves, but this is a step too far.
The Swiss are going to make another change in a moment, and it's a Yeti who will be coming on.
I mean, look, he doesn't have the quickest turn of pace, but you can stick it in the box, can't you? Here's Sam Matterface bringing out the childishness in all of us.
And Serena Wiegmann, for the first time, has just come out, and she has let one go.
Well, it can happen.
Sam, come on, mate. She put it in a jar and sold it on OnlyFans for thousands. Serena Wiegmann's jar of farts.
Now for former England captain Stuart Pearce again with a classic Curse of the Commentator.
I think, Jim, we've just seen there probably why England might not get as many goals in this second half.
Chilwell finds Lingard, and it's tapped in by Calvert-Lewin.
Oh, bad luck.
That's really good. Yeah. Back to the Moose showing us why he won't be leading the singing section of the West Ham fans.
Amusingly, after the ball incident with Damien Duff, the West Ham fans in jovial mood now. We're seeing, can we have our ball back? Can we have our ball back? There we go.
I mean, do it with conviction.
That's terrible.
Do it with conviction.
Let's welcome Adam Bridge, who was given the tricky task of commentating on West Brom versus Brighton.
9 minutes played here. West Bromwich Albion 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. It's Albion who've started the Bright to the two sides.
So confusing, isn't it?
You may forgive someone for getting Nigel Adderley's name slightly wrong. Love to Nigel, but this is unforgivable.
But it's looking more and more likely that there'll be a championship club next season. It's Bournemouth 0, Southampton 2.
Thanks, Alice.
Alice. Who is Alice?
It's a Clips of the Week.
Marvellous. Here we go.
Commentary special. So you just know we couldn't leave out this gem from Sam Matterface.
Agbon Lahore is counter-attacking at the other end. He's found Vyman, whose shot is about as weak as a glass of orange squash, which is 52 parts water and half a part squash.
It's one of those, isn't it?
It is almost, maybe you should never, just give up. Yeah. That's it. Just quit. Never broadcast again.
The analogy. Anyway.
52 part. It take a long time to measure as well, if you actually strip it away. To go, well, how do you like your squash, Sam? I like it 52 parts water, one part squash. Okay, I'll just get my...
It's probably quite an accurate sort of reflection.
Do you think it's accurate? I think it is. I think it's probably 1 to 20, maybe 1 to 15.
I think I'll measure it.
Do you think 1 to 52? You need a pipette, don't you? Do you have a pipette?
Really?
Did it need analysing? I don't know. Now for Jim Proudfoot channeling his inner Lionel Richie.
Back it comes in from Bruno Guimaraes. Genepo letting it bounce once, twice, 3 times, and
yes, and of course you know what that reminds me.
Yeah, here we go.
Once, twice, 3 times.
Starts singing like the Moose.
Lionel Proudfoot. Tremendous.
Neil says a Yeti can do it on a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Yeah. Chris says, go for a pint with Vitor Pereira. If you want a friend to advise you on how to get your life back together, Pep Guardiola, a nice plate of carbonara, surely Enzo Maresca. He
3
says,
times.
Thank you, Jim. Keep going, Jim. That was Clips of the Week, thanks to Tool Station.
Clips of the Week on talkSPORT with Tool Station. Proudly behind the trades that work so hard for the nation. Next stop, Tool Station.
This is the talkSPORT Goal Show. It's the show for the fans. It's done by the fans.
He is an unlocker of defences.
If you've got a problem or something to say,
You don't have the right to say anything about something. I do.
This nonsense kills the game.
Water.
Really?
It says on the bottle of Robinson or Ribena or any other squash.
So not 52.
Not 52. That the point Sam was trying to make
That would
was
be
it's
very
quite
diluted.
It was very diluted, and that was
well
the
then-
shot was quite a diluted shot.
Well, I think
actually,
he had a point,
when you analyse it, it's one of the greatest pieces of comedy. You know, it's up there with, and it's in there. It's up there with, you know, the greatest moment. Drink it in, which is, and actually, when Martin Tyler said "drink it in," what he wanted to drink in was a squash that was 52 parts water.
That's exactly right.
and 1 part squash. It all comes full circle. Anyway, there's been some press conferences, managers saying, well, I have a great respect for my opposing manager. And lots has been talked about the Arsenal. Who's going to be Arsenal captain? If Martin Odegaard's the captain, they'll never win the league. And people say this. Anyway, Tony Adams urged Mikel Arteta to strip Odegaard of the captaincy. But the Arsenal boss revealed the club had a vote, and he revealed the results.
Okay.
Well, my opinion is clear, and it's not just my opinion, it's all the staff and especially the players. I asked them to vote the captains, and I got the results yesterday, and by a mile, but a big 100 miles, everybody choosing the same person, which is Martin Odegaard, which is the most clear sign that you can have, is how they feel about who has to be their captains to defend, improve, and win the matches that we want to win. So I think there's no question about that.
Do you think...
I demand a recount if I was there.
Do you think he did it like X Factor? Do you think Mikel was like Dermot? You know, had his arm round Martin Odegaard, you know, and Declan Rice, you know, and someone said, one of the crowds going, only the young! Only the young! It's there going, and the winner through to judges' houses is Martin Odegaard. Do you think it makes any difference?
Oh, no, it's important. It's important. Well, it's important off the field, the captain, because if people, you know, he's the sort of conduit for the players to the manager and the staff and all that. I think it is important.
I think it's overblown.
Well,
I think it's important in other sports more so than this. I think you don't have to be a captain.
John Terry was a great captain.
Well, of course he was, but like, had he not been the captain, he'd have still yelled stuff and told people where to be.
Oh, I suppose so.
And all that kind of stuff. And he could have still been in the leadership. He could have still told the manager that people aren't happy with the egg and cress sandwiches in the canteen. I don't think it's going to... I think Arsenal will still finish second, whether Odegaard or Rice is captain, is what I think.
Odegaard is quite strong on the sandwich.
He really cares about... He's at Chris Wilder levels. Only day he's a sandwich.
Okay. Anyway, Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim, a man under pressure, I venture to suggest, was asked how he's feeling coming into the season.
It's hard to know because we cannot change everything in 4 weeks, but we are better. I know that we are training harder, we are training better, so I know that we are more prepared to cope with the demands of the game. We have new players that we need to understand in the real game what they are capable to do in the moment, but I'm really more confident. That is clear. I'm more confident in this moment. But again, we cannot change everything in 4 weeks. But we step by step we are going to be a better team. But of course, I'm more confident.
Yeah, I mean, playing once a week will really help them, no question. In terms of injuries, fatigue, all that sort of thing. And they have got some goals.
They've got some goals, but they need, and I'm not the first person to say this, but they need, I mean, Baleba is an interesting player if they get him. I don't think they will.
They won't get him.
But they need somebody there. Because if you, and I've said it already on today's show, but like holding midfielder is such a key part. And if you've got Fernandes next to you, if he's going to play Mbeumo and Cunha and
sure.
and Sesko, and Fernandes is like, he doesn't not defend. Like, we have a sort of dumb idea about how, some footballers do actually do some defensive work and some don't, but he is a man who likes to go forward and carry the ball and play risky passes.
Goals. Ahmad's a good player.
Well, no, Ahmad is a good player, but doesn't look like, if he's playing, then you still have the issue where you just have quite a light midfield because Fernandes is so. But what there is a truth about Manchester United as well, and Lars was saying this the other day, that you've got Fernandes, you've got Cunha and Sesko as well, who both they all love to have a go from distance. So like, whatever happens at the end of the season, Man United might finish 17th, but their goals montage will be absolutely brilliant because they've got three players who like to just look around and go, "Oh, sod it," and absolutely whack.
I think they're going to surprise a few, but we'll see.
I have them. Do you want to know where I have them? I have them 7th.
Yeah, that would be certainly a step forward.
Would be an improvement on 15th.
Yeah,
Nothing gets past you. Forest manager Nuno Espirito Santo, speaking to talkSPORT, gave his reaction to their completely deserved qualification for the Europa League.
Clearly, the ruling on Monday, you guys benefited being in the Europa League, Crystal Palace staying in the Conference League. Do you have any sympathy for them as their sets of fans, the club at all?
Of course. Look, of course I have. And what my major concern is that please don't change the narrative. We are not to blame of the situation of Palace. And maybe when we go to Europe, people that are going to be in the stands are going to think that we stole something for someone. No, we achieve Europe. And now we are in a different competition. Okay, sympathy for Palace. Amazing what they've been doing, achieving the titles. Great respect for Oliver. I was with him personally. But we are delighted because we are in Europe. It doesn't matter really the competition. So for the growing of the club, only achieving this possibility of being in Europe, I think is a huge step. Huge step.
They're not to blame, but wouldn't it have been? And I'm slightly surprised Marinakis didn't do this. Say actually no.
Oh yes,
no. We should stay in the Conference League
because it's worth so much more, and you can get in the Champions League if you win it.
It's an absolute disgrace.
Oh, of course,
it is a disgrace that Palace, that UEFA have made this judgment. It's a disgrace that CAS have made this judgment, especially because Forest
don't
benefit.
Blame Tony. He does a good show.
He does a good show at the weekends, but he wasn't focused. Especially because Nottingham Forest, just because they filled out the form correctly, this idea that you can put a club in a blind trust, like Marinakis, and I know Forest aren't in the same competition as Olympiacos. I understand that. Multi-club ownership is wrong, I believe, but you can't just say, oh, they're in a blind trust, because football clubs can't be in a blind trust because you can watch them on the telly. It's not an asset you can't find something about because you can see them.
So if PSG, the owners of PSG, wanted to buy Cambridge as another club...
I don't want it. It ruins the dream because one day we could be the biggest club in the world. No, I don't want multi-club ownership at all. I don't want them anywhere near. Certainly not PSG. Not my feelings on nation-state ownership, Andy. I'd have to walk away, for God's sake. So, no, I think it's a disgrace. And, if the football family really... They only care when it's something that doesn't affect them. Everyone's like, oh, the football family. When it affects you, suddenly everybody's complete self-interest at every level of the game. And as the woke lefty snowflake here, I think there should be a more socialist view of the game. Is what I think. Anyway,
that's a minute, isn't it? What a load of old rubbish. Anyway, Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca.
Is he a socialist?
Not really.
Okay.
He's asserted that he wants a new centre back this summer as the Levi Colwill injury, not joking, has put a major spanner in the works.
We are trying to find solution internally, but the club know exactly what they think, and we'll see what's happening.
What do you think?
I think we need a central defender, but we'll see. Also, we are looking for internally a solution, but as I said, the club knows exactly what they think.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they go out and spend money on, say, Garnacho, when they've got a young boy like Tariq George who's doing really well, when they actually need to spend the money on a centre-half. A lot depends on Fofana, though. If he can stay fit, it's a huge if. But if he can, that would help. But we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, and that's as Charlie Baker says, you can end any football discussion with "we'll see."
He's absolutely right. That's the beauty of it. That's what's so fantastic about sport. For when you go to the theatre or you go see some music. You know that Oasis are going to end with a certain amount of songs. It's going to be fairly predictable. It can be fantastic, but it's going to be fairly predictable. Whereas the beauty of football and sport is you never
actually finished with Bridge Over Troubled Water. Did you know that?
Who?
Oasis.
Oh, sorry.
No, they didn't. I have absolutely no idea.
Not the Mike Flowers pop.
They got them in. Do you want my Premier League table since we've got we've got
yes,
4
go
minutes?
on.
Okay, this is it is based on absolutely nothing. Normally, I include Villa twice and forget West Ham completely, or something like that. So I was just very pleased to get the 20 teams in. Would you want me to go top to bottom or bottom to top?
Well, go top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
I'll see if I agree with you.
Champions, Manchester City.
Don't agree with that. Go
Don't know. A lot of people don't. Yeah. And maybe they'll finish 6th. Of course, the charges still hang over.
They'll be right up there.
And we think, my sources tell me that there will be a result on the charges in the next 50 to 60 years. So we'll find out. But I think, Pep has the hunger. I think they've got some good players. I like Marmouche.
Yes.
Arsenal 2nd.
Oh, interesting. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I put Liverpool 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
And a bit of recency bias with Community Shield. Bringing those new players. Stan brought it up. I think you cannot, and people won't talk about Diogo Jota every single time they play, but that is such the impact on those players and the staff and the manager and everybody there. You just can't underestimate.
And the loss of the player himself is such a brilliant player, and to lose the 2 other forwards, you're putting a lot on the people you bring in, even if it is Isak.
Yeah. And grief is a strange thing, and it can affect different people at different times.
Yeah, it can also be inspiring, but you don't know.
That is true. Chelsea 4th.
Interesting, yes. I'd take that now. I would.
Tottenham
Hotspur. A lot of Chelsea fans think they're going to do better than that, but I'm always naturally pessimistic.
I'm not sure. I think the defensive issues are true. I think they could all be knackered in March.
Possibly, yeah.
The business end of the season. This end is not the business end. It's the fun end of the season that we're just...
Esteval's going to cause, going to excite people.
Because you've said he's good. Tim Vickery, could be the next Pele. But let's not put pressure on the list. Spurs 5th.
Ooh, controversial.
But I'm saying that with Eze and Savinho just in my mind.
Oh, well, that's a different matter altogether. Yeah.
Got Villa 6th.
Yeah, very
bit of continuity. I've put Manchester United 7th.
Ooh, were you leaving out Newcastle?
I have left them out so far. Yeah, Forest 8th, which was a bit generous actually. I didn't really think about it, but they have kept their back four and their keeper. They're good, and Nico Williams.
Those 2 centre halves are fabulous, and the goalkeeper's great.
Yeah. Brighton 9th. Now you're just guessing.
Well, of course you are, but Brighton, you can never write off Brighton from having a decent season.
Mm-hmm. Newcastle 10th.
Ooh, I think they'll do better than that.
Okay. Palace 11th.
Again, so much depends on who they keep. I'm a big fan of what Glasner's done at Palace. They've got, as I said the other way, they've got 6 or 7 players any other club, top 4 included, would want. And if they can keep their players, I think they'll be top 8.
Yeah, no, I love Adam Morton. Everton 12th.
Yeah, possible.
Fulham 13th. Of course.
Again, another good side. They're full of the league. It's such a great league.
It's hard, isn't it? Bournemouth 14th.
Yeah, I can see them going backwards. Yeah.
Leeds 15th.
They'd be happy with that.
They would be, wouldn't they? Brentford 16th.
They'd be happy with that as well. Though obviously they've got used to being a bit higher than that. But it's obviously you can't lose. In Buemo, they're going to lose Visser. Thomas Frank is such a big thing. They've lost some analysts. It's going to affect them. You can't not.
Sunderland 17th.
They'd be happy with that.
They would be happy with that, wouldn't they, Clive?
I'm not sure about that.
So I've relegated Wolves, Burnley and West Ham. My apologies to them. At Danny Kelly.
Do not. Wolves, Vitor Pereira did a very good job.
When I wrote it down, it was stupid.
See that
I even thought it was stupid, but I wrote it down.
They've lost Cunha, but even when he didn't play, they got results. I think they'll be absolutely fine.
Who are you relegating?
I'm definitely, it's the 3 that come up, but I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham and Brentford are in the mix. So,
okay. Hey, thanks, Andy. Had a nice day.
Lovely. Thank you very much for your efforts this week.
I really tried my best.
You did very well.
I'll be back with Charlie tomorrow at 9 for some shouting.
I shall be listening.
Good man. And Drive is next.